What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Rated G podcast. I'm your host, G. Derrado. For those of you who are new here, welcome to the show. Here on the podcast, I like to sit down and discuss all things related to art and creativity, such as sharing my creative process, all the insights behind the scenes into some of the projects that I'm working on. And I also talk about general things in life and events and experiences. And usually I will sit down with another local artist or creative, sometimes local from the area or the other side of the country or even on the other side of the world. That's right. And we just sit down to get to know each other better and to try to promote their brand and their craft. So if you're into that type of content, please follow if you are listening, subscribe if you're watching, ring the notification bell so you can keep up with the new uploads, and please share with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment to help out with the algorithm. All the necessary things to help out with the growth of the podcast. I also share other things on my channel, art videos, vlogs, all that good jazz. So you can always check that out. And if you want to follow us outside the podcast, you want to see what we're working on a daily, all our social media links will be provided down below. My goodness. All right, so a while back, not even a while back, but I'm always talking about AI. What the fuck am I saying a while back? There's always something going on with AI nowadays. But no, but I had noticed like like a month ago, not too long ago, but a month ago, like I keep seeing headlines mentioning Adobe and how Adobe seems to always be in trouble for something. Because a while back, actually, this is why I mentioned a while back, I had talked about uh an author that was being sued for using AI art for their book art. We launched its own Firefly AI image generator that is trained only on content that's licensed or out of copyright. But those assurances don't apply to images found in Adobe stock, raising questions about whether copyrighted work was used to train the image generator that produced it. Many AI systems are built around data sets containing artwork scraped from the internet without the consent of the original artist, sometimes even displaying signatures from the original artwork within a generated final image. But I guess apparently, recently, um, they're being sued by FTC, and they are, it's being claimed that they are spying on their users. So, yeah, a lot of a lot of shit going on with Adobe right now, and it's just wild to think back when I used to use it. Now this was pre-COVID, and yeah, it just I don't know if this has been going on back then too, but it's just I don't know. I only used Adobe Illustrator, uh, and it was very cut and dry the way I was using it, just to render images and paintings, drawings. Like, I mean, I was actually using it more so for my my um my freelance gig. I used to design for Martha Stewart brands, and so that was the last time I was really using it. And it was funny because then I didn't realize too, like, I remember back in college when it was like you just had the one-time fee, right? The one-time payment to get the whole Adobe suite. And I didn't even realize the switch from that to the monthly subscription. So, um, So like sometimes even till this day, I'm like, do I even still have it? Like the Adobe subscription, or did I actually like legitimately canceled it? Uh, I mean, I don't get any like um invoices, so um I like to think I'm safe from that. But yeah, it's just wild seeing like Adobe is like, I don't know, I just used to always think that Adobe was just like high regarded software company, right? And now it's just like, but yeah, so I pulled up a couple of things just touching on these subjects. Going with the FTC thing. So the FTC is suing Adobe over hidden fees and an overly complicated cancellation process. Now, this is exactly what I was just talking about here. Um, yeah, I mean that's pretty shitty that they would, like after canceling, they would still fucking find a way to get their money from you. Uh, and like as far as a complicated uh canceling process, like I don't know. I don't remember it being complex for me. So yeah, now I'm wondering. Uh, but I don't know. I thought it was something a little more serious than that. But it just seems like they're doing whatever they can to keep getting money from you. Um, And the other thing was uh Adobe has they've updated their terms of service, which allows them to potentially look at your pictures, presumably only if you are utilizing their cloud service and or AI technologies. However, they haven't fully clarified that, which certainly casts some doubt to a limited use scenario. And this was from June 12th of this year. Um, and this is one of those things where it's like both parties are at fault here because if I'm being honest, and I'm guilty of this, I don't read the entire terms of service. All right. Like them shits are too long. And if you're at the store or wherever it is, making a purchase that requires reading the terms of service, like, you don't want to be there fucking, you don't want to be there for any length of time. You just want to get that purchase and boom. But these things matter, and it's just like it's unfortunate that we don't have that patience. I mean, to those who do, power to you. Uh, I wish I had that, I don't know, discipline or awareness or whatever. But I imagine like people that are like well versed in like software engineering and stuff, like would be more inclined to read the terms of service because they know how they fucking get you. Uh, But yeah, like who actually reads them, right? Um, so and we've all have gotten like notification emails saying when a certain app's terms of service changes. Like I now like it's got me thinking probably all the past emails I've gotten regarding certain accounts having their terms of services changed or updated. Now it's like, oh, maybe this is like them talking about AI. Um, with the face scanning to log in and just like all that shit. Like, damn, that's probably what it is. And we're just like, or I'll just say on my own behalf, like, I get the thing talking about terms of service. Oh, whatever. Like, I'm still using it, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like, hey, we're using your shit for AI now. I know. Uh, so something interesting though too. I noticed when I use Google on Safari because I don't actually have like a Google. app. Uh, it'll give me AI overview result for whatever it is I research. So that's interesting. Not on my computer, but on my phone. Um, and it does say here, it kind of elaborates a little bit on, you know, regards to what I was just talking about. In June 2024, Adobe faced controversy after updating its general terms of service to give users unlimited access to their projects for content review and other purposes. This includes projects that may be under an NDA, and Adobe can access and view creations using automated and manual methods as well as machine learning. Adobe claims that this is for reasons such as improving customer service, products, or for legal or training purposes. However, some say that Adobe's real motivation is to make money, such as by cutting out the middleman and getting their hands on photographers' money more easily. That sucks. Yeah, it's like you can only shed so much light on this AI phenomenon because I've been doing a lot of fear mongering on AI, and I just try to have like one positive outlook, but it's feeling tough. It's seemingly tougher to be able to do so, but it sucks, man. So no one's safe. No one's safe. Um, I don't know what to say about that, you know? Just kind of accept it for what it is. Um, yeah, yeah. Because I'm thinking, is it AI? I don't know. I feel like I've seen artists post about, they'll be working with some type of, you know, AI software, but like the I guess like the data storage it has is just only on the user. Like it only data scrapes the user's information to make like their own shit. So they're not taking data from other things, just only of the user of that account. I I mean, I don't even like know if that's like the actual case too. Like I feel like I saw something with an artist claiming like the only data that the software was using was his own. But I mean, I don't know how true that is, but like if that was the case for like all of this, like maybe that would be safer. I don't know. It's just real hard to keep things private nowadays. I'm not bitching because like I'm at my own, I'm in at fault, right, for my shit being out there. So, but it's just wild. But to there was like one other thing I figured that this might be more of a just a neat idea. Okay, I'm not saying this is like 100% positive, but this is just kind of cool. Okay, I'm sure there's a dark side to it. I mean, there kind of is, right? I imagine. I just don't know at the moment. But anyway, what I'm talking about is AI being used to transform old photos into videos. I came across this cool video on Instagram Reels, and it was like a family photo, and you can just by optics, you could tell it's like taken. The photo was taken a long time ago. Um, And unless it's a filter, I don't know. They're tricky with filters. But these look like old photos that were animated, and it's pretty neat. Hold on, let me bring this up. this really old photo. Like, I don't know what decade it is. It was a family photo when he was a child in the Philippines. That would be pretty cool, in my opinion, to see that into a video, to see that in motion. Because, this is like, oh, like I'm actually seeing my dad as a child. And just to see him, just to see like a mannerism out of, I don't know, but I thought that was neat. I mean, it's a little freaky too, don't get me wrong, but I think it's also kind of neat. And I mean that just really would only fulfill my curiosities really with photos and just see, like right in front of me, I got these old photos of me when I was a kid, when I was real young, sorry, I got the filter on my for my Zoom thing here. But yeah, I got here a photo of me. Looked like I was about to pick my nose and I'm wearing a diaper. And I'm on top of like the dinner table. I had to been, I don't know, three, four, two, I don't know. But that'd be, see, so if I threw that through into whatever software that would transform it into a video, but right there, that'd be really cool to see that in motion. And yeah, it'd be unreal just to see my, infantile self. That sounds weird. But yeah, you get the point. It'd be cool. Um, but I'm sure there's a dark side to that, so I'll just quit while I'm ahead. That's all I got for right now. So yeah, I don't know. It's like interesting times. Uh, that's which is like I feel like it's such a cliche now. Like we're in interesting times now. We're in crazy times. We're wild times. It's a mad world. Kind of is. Kind of is. But, you know, I've always been vocal about this. From time to time. I know I've said it multiple times on the podcast, but I do believe that if there was some way to regulate the use, right? Like if we were even like just going way back, you know, I don't know how many years, 10 years, 15 years, but like I just feel like if we really took the time to just adapt just the accessibility we were gonna have to everything on our smart devices. Like if we just, you know, if we hung out with iPhone 5 for a couple of years, like everything just upgraded so fast. And I just, I don't know, I just believe that if we had slowed it down a little bit, we'd be a little more adaptive. We wouldn't, I don't know, it's such a stark difference, you know, just seeing things develop in real time. It's scary, like seeing it out in public, just the phone zombies, all of it. It's scary. That I hear mentions of brain rot now because of I guess because of social media and it's just it piles on and on and on. And it's like, damn it, if we only just consumed it at I don't know, just at a slower rate. But we're too far gone now, so I just really curious to see what's next. So before I bring on my guest, I'm gonna plug some events that are happening this month and in the beginning of next month. So July 20th, hopefully it'll be a much cooler Saturday, but July 20th we'll be having the Christmas in July market with Kismet Market. And it's going to be held at Star Hill Beer Hall and Rooftop. And then June 26th, it's going to be a real special weekend uh, because that will be the opening night for my Tech Utopia art exhibit. And this is my very first solo exhibit. So, real exciting. I got family and friends visiting from up north. So, we're going to have a packed house, and hopefully, it'll be a packed house at the gallery. It's going to be held at Artworks in Manchester. So yeah, July 26th, and it's gonna be up for 6 months. So if you missed the art reception, all good. It's just, I would love to meet everybody out there. So that's going on. That's the rest of July for me. Then August, the first weekend of August, starting with August 2nd. It's a first Friday, and I'm gonna be at the Moon Market by Gallery 5 for the first Friday celebration. What else? That's an outdoor event. So again, fingers crossed, we're at the peak of summer. So we're playing with fire, like almost literally. August 4th, that's a Sunday, in Norfolk. I'm gonna be doing my very first flea market over there. At Waterside District. Now, this is the event I initially wanted to do because I know it's a popular event. It's a successful event. The one I did previously was a farmer's market, and that was brand new. So hopefully this will be a different outcome. I feel like flea markets in general are usually, good turnouts. So we'll see. And that's about it for now. Hopefully there'll be some more events happening in August. For any reason you're unavailable on those dates, but you would like to see what I have available for purchase, you can shop online at theartofgtoronto.square.site, and you can also book me for commissions through there, or just DM me on social media. I do have a few slots open for commissions if you want some personalized artwork for your personal gallery, home decor, or gift for somebody. Just hit me up. You get an automatic 10% discount on your first commission with me. Shipping and handling are included, and if you are working on a tight budget or any budget in general, I'm open to payment arrangements. All right, so hopefully we'll work together in the future. All right, now let's bring on the guest, shall we? Enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary, of course, please welcome back the one and only Marcus Vega.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, back for a quick return, my friend.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
got some things to talk about.
Okay,
Couple of surprises.
Yeah, you wanna lead? You want to start off with
Yeah, so well, first I'll start off by saying I did not start the Dragon Ball stuff yet. I did some blueprints on my iPad in Procreate, so got a sense of what I want to do. I'm sure you saw in my other sketchbook when I was out at the local brewery, I started to like think about things and draw that one scene specifically in the Saiyan Saga.
Did I see it? I
Kind of
don't know
just
if I
getting
saw that.
ideas. I think you did. It's like when Goku's doing his Kaioken times 4 in the, from the angle from the back, and Vegeta's up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah, I put that in my quick sketchbook. But I will say, yes, it's gonna happen. So you are gonna be getting a package because
Oh.
I got banker's boxes here to fit the big boy. So I was able to find stuff on Amazon. So I was like I got the idea looking at TVs like when I move, like sometimes you just carry your TV or whatever. And I was like, wait a second, there's moving boxes for TVs, even if they're 24 inches and they're pretty slim.
Right.
So I was just like, fuck it, let's see what's on Amazon, and found some bankers boxes that are basically that. So I'm gonna bubble wrap it up, and so everything's nice and neat. And yeah, it'll be big, but for me, I thought you and I could just use that one because it comes like in a pack of six. So I was like, let's just send this one box back and forth. And if it gets
Right.
destroyed, then I have another one, to like put something else in it. But yeah, I was able to find some packaging to send your way. Um,
Okay. Well,
got some of the script written out on my video. So my first YouTube video is actually not that, but I started doing that. Um, Started recording some of it yesterday, and then going to be recording more, but then started writing my script out for stuff that I want to do for the Dragon Ball thing. So,
okay.
but I had some delays. My grandmother's in the hospital, so unfortunately, she's yeah 88 now, and my plan was to start doing it in mid to end of June after we last had met. So I started getting everything set in motion. But unfortunately, she's back in the hospital. She's been having a couple trips since March. Um, so been visiting her, and I started vacation. So I'm like, all right, vacation. I had vacation starting last week. So I'm like, I'm gonna CG, visit my grandmother, have some free time, start to like really map everything out. But yeah,
Mm,
so pretty exciting stuff. So you'll be getting a package in probably the next 2 weeks or so, I'm gonna say.
okay.
So be on the lookout.
All right. Well, best wishes to your grandmother. You know,
Thanks, man.
yeah. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. I do have a few things that I'm working
Mhm.
on or will be working on, like some commissions.
Yeah,
So
I saw
yeah,
that you're doing some stuff too.
yeah, I'll keep you posted on that progress.
Yeah,
It's
that's fine. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, this one might
Yeah.
be like bits here and there.
Hmm.
Just because
Yeah. That's the whole point of it, man. Is just it
yeah,
doesn't, however long you need, take as
okay.
much time as you need to do things, and we'll see how far we can take this. So,
Okay.
but
Cool. Yeah, because
um,
I was under the impression that they were gonna be quick turnarounds, but I'm like, nah, this is gonna take a while. Especially
yeah. I mean, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, especially, granted, if I'm booking enough
Yeah.
uh pop-up events that are gonna, just help
Yeah. Yeah.
with everything. Yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
see. Like, but okay, cool. I mean, yeah, I'm usually really good at being communicative. Yeah, communicative. I don't know if that's right, but I usually
Communicative. That is a funky word.
yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
usually that pretty well in terms
Yeah.
of the progress. So you'll
Yeah.
you'll definitely be updated. Um,
Like
actually,
I said, man, however long it takes you to kick it back my way, that's like the whole point is I completely am mindful of you, having your stuff full time, but I just thought this would be a good, and like I said, once it's said and done, like if you want to hold on to it or make prints of it for your own sake, by all means, man, take it,
it'd
take it
definitely be
as
cool to have
take it
like
as you will.
at least like a yeah, like a print of like the final result. That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean it's a really cool idea, and because I kind of thought of I mean it's practically the same thing with my other buddy. He's been on the show like several times, like his most
Hmm.
recent episode, or not Mike, but Nick. Um, he sent me just out of the blue, he's just like, hey, expect a package on this date. I'm like, oh shit, what is it? Because this is like the second time he's done that. Like the first time he sent me like a random gift of like art supplies and like good
Hmm.
quality watercolor paper. So that was like really sweet of him.
Ooh,
I've yet to use the that that stuff yet, but then
yeah.
he's like, yeah, so, I'm sending another package. I'm like, what? And it was like this his hardcover sketchbook, and I guess he like just over the years he's sent them around to all of his like artist friends, and they would draw
Hmm.
something in it, and like he sent
Yeah.
me sent me the book. So it's kind of that's what it kind of feels like, just between you
Yeah.
and I, is like just
Yeah.
sending back that one, just that paper, and we just keep filling it up with like badass scenes from the
It's the
sagas.
Saiyan saga. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta
So,
go ahead.
yeah, so specifically the Saiyan saga. So I know, I mean, it's I don't know. I guess this is a good quick conversation for us to have since we didn't really nail the coffin. But we definitely we agreed on color. So like if we're gonna be doing pencil and ink, do color, slap some color on there. Um, it's gonna be on Bristol. I think I mentioned that before. It'll be on 20 by 24 Bristol. And then the Saiyan saga. But I guess I'll just pick your brain. Do you think we should just do all of the sagas combined? I mean, it's big, it's kind of big enough, but like maybe we can just incorporate over however long it's going to take us, or should we just focus on one? You know, I'd
Mm,
like your input. Like, if you think we should slap on a bunch of different,
right.
or just focus on one.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Because there's so many ways you can go about it. Part of
I
me
know.
kind of likes the idea of just sticking to one saga because like it is a big,
Okay.
but like it does depend like how much like the composition like it depends like how
Yeah.
much of this corner of the paper you're gonna like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure some scenes might be a little bit larger than
Yeah, like smaller and bigger. Yep.
yeah, so it really does depend. Yeah, it depends
Yeah.
how
I'm
we
cool with that.
so I don't know like cuz like the way I'm thinking about it is like all right, maybe if we just focus on one saga and if this thing becomes like an ongoing thing, then we might as
Mhm.
well just start doing one per
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cuz like not even just like per season, but we can do even the movies too. Cause like
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
yeah,
Holy shit.
I love the movies,
Bro,
honestly. There's so
the
like I have like
Dragon Ball Super Broly is like the best. In my opinion. That's like when they made Gogeta and Broly like canon in the Super. I don't know
oh
if you've
the
seen
that
that.
one. That one I like
Yeah.
it, but
Dude, his animation was pretty dope. At certain points. Not
yeah.
all the animation was good, but
Well, some of it was definitely like the 3D with the 2D with the cell shading.
yeah,
Definitely
yeah,
felt
yeah.
that like with all the fight scenes with Gogeta, like it felt like the
Hmm.
game. It felt like the Fighter Z. Uh
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I don't know, man. I always go back to the old school. Like I like the idea that they made it canon, but I don't know, man. I like the way they portrayed Brawley in the old movie. I think it was movie 8.
Oh yeah.
I think it's movie 8 when they
Yeah.
first introduced him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought
Yeah.
he was more ruthless than like,
He was, yeah.
but I mean it's still all pretty cool. But yeah, so there's like what 13 of the original
13
movies,
movies, yeah.
so it's like yeah, I mean we could even just do like one piece. I mean, I'm thinking ahead now, but if we were to do the movie
Hmm.
approach, we can definitely probably get it down to like we could probably do one big piece of all the cool movie, like, a cool
Yeah,
fight
yeah,
scene from
that's
each
true.
movie. But anyway, going back to just the first thing that our first attempt, I would just do one season. I think
Yeah, I'm cool with
we'll
that. Yeah.
definitely have like yeah, and like I don't know, like do we um divide like how many scenes? Like we've never discussed that either.
No. Yeah, so I
Could we
think
each do
what
four?
I yeah, so what I wanted to do was focus on the surprise factor, especially like since
Okay.
I'm going to be recording. I don't like my plan for my channel on YouTube is, like it's more of like a review. I think I mentioned like I'll be drawing something, but I'll also be doing like a review and nostalgia and talking about myself as a kid for certain things, whether it's like Ultraman or Breaking Bad or Dexter or,
Yeah.
anything, movies, video games, comics, all that. And having like B-roll of me drawing and then talking about said, thing that I'm drawing. So I started writing the script for Dragon Ball Saiyan Saga specifically. But to answer your question, like I think what was your question? I totally just lost my train of
Oh,
thought
like how
because I
many
was
scene,
thinking
like it
ahead.
was how many
Oh
scenes
yeah, yeah.
game of.
Yeah, so like I for the wow factor, I will draw a certain and you won't know what I'm drawing. So when you are doing whatever you're going to do for whether it's your TikTok, Instagram, or whatever it is, then at least you'll be more of the reacting because that's like a big thing on YouTube and it's a
Yeah,
lot of things are all based on reactions.
yeah.
So I thought it would be neat for us to like not know what we're getting ourselves into until we see it and then we're like, oh, okay, now I can kind of take this and draw something new or oh, he already did this. That's what I had in mind. Now I got to do something different or. So um so I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to draw two things. And I started to map it out in Procreate, but I was like, I'm not going to tell them because like those are something those are things that I want to draw. But I'm like, I have a weird feeling. I definitely know the first thing you're going to draw. I have this gut
You?
feeling. I have this gut feeling, but I want to save it for when I'm like, I knew it, or
Ah.
but I have this feeling, but yeah, and I guess the other part is like they're just so just for reference. I mean, I've watched Dragon Ball Z so much, but I'm still going back and like there's things I forgot about, like Piccolo blowing up the fucking moon. Like I forgot he did that. Like he just like blows up the moon when Gohan turns into the whatchamacallit, Uzuru. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. But there is stuff on YouTube, just so you know, that you could like type in like Saiyan Saga movie and like you'll find like 1 hour or it's like a condensed version of the seasons. So that, if you need any reference, head on to YouTube and just type da 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 slash movie or something like that. Put the word movie at the end and you can find like essentially anything. And it's just a condensed version of it. So you have something to go by.
Oh,
So I wanted to share that with you. So in case, you're like, let me go back to that scene, or something like that. So
okay, cool.
yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah,
I
man.
have I do have Satan Saga on DVD, so
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind going back and watching it and all the
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
sometimes the fillers got some gems, so
Yeah, Piccolo learned how to drive.
so I mean,
God,
well,
I
that's the
forgot.
thing, right? How big is the paper again?
20 by 24.
Yeah, that's a
So
significant
it's yeah,
size.
it's yeah, so it's pretty big.
So yeah, I mean,
So
I'm just saying for me, I wouldn't. I probably may pick one or two for for like small sections. Maybe I'll take a small section and do like some
mhm.
filler- memorable filler scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be
All
fun.
right. Cool. All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna definitely everything I have my camera actually here to my left recording B-roll of us meeting for this podcast and talking about the Dragon Ball stuff. So now I
Uh,
can turn that off. Boop. So now that's out of the way.
oh, sh
Um, so yeah, so that ball's moving, buddy. So, but like I said, take your time, man. No rush. I know you got things coming. I've been pretty mindful of that and seeing your stuff and all that. And that's pretty exciting for you
It's
too.
true. You
So I
are very,
saw you got some stuff in July, right? End of
yeah.
July?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, it's hopefully it goes well. It's my first solo art exhibit. And
Oh, really?
yeah, for the so like cuz yeah, you know, I check my stories like my viewers and you're very
Yeah,
supportive and
yeah.
you always keep up to date with stuff. So, you have been seeing more talk about like the Tech Utopia series. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
pretty
thing.
sick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm exhibiting. And it's like the first I always forget the number. It's either 11 or 13 pieces. Like I have a few like I was on the
Uh-huh.
fence about putting on the wall, but I'm like they kind of like help start everything. So because
Hmm.
I did like the last 9 or 8 pieces in 12 by 16, but the first few that really kind of sparked the whole theme. They're like 11 by 14, and one of them's on 9 by 12, and it's
Yeah.
on one's on tone. So it's like it's on different material. So I'm like, I was kind of unsure about including them because they're very much different than what I have been showing. So I might
Mhm.
still keep it in, just so everyone can see the gradual process to where it's at right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just really excited because like I was unsure about putting that shit out. Like when we
Yeah.
moved here, I was like, I don't know how well
Uh,
received, like
where's it
especially
at?
like, on the market scene. What?
Oh, like where's it at? I like I saw that you're doing that. I thought it was like also like a collaboration of other artists doing their own
Um,
whatchamacallits.
it's at this. It's just called Artworks. It's a gallery.
Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because there's an Artworks unrelated unassociated, but Artworks in Trenton. They have an Artworks. Um,
Oh, okay.
pretty much like the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've done a few of their group exhibits, and
Hmm.
yeah, apparently if you do a certain amount within one calendar year, you're granted a free solo exhibit. You just have to have like
Oh,
the
sweet.
art proposal and stuff like that, artist proposal. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's gonna be big because like my sister and my nephew are coming down. One of my best friends is coming down. Some
Sweet.
college friend, college roommate. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
like a full house too, like having people here.
When is it?
So
It's at the
it's
end
the
of July?
weekend. It's on the 26th. That's a Friday. So they always do something every fourth Friday. Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, so hopefully that goes well. I gotta actually schedule a day when I'm gonna hang everything. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
Like it would be cool to if there were like some buyers.
Hmm.
Um, because I have like there's so much more. Like that thing is like an ongoing. Um, I just call it a story now because there is like a bit of a
Hmm.
narrative going on, like slowly developing. I'm not one to like write stories like that. Like I've always just, because people be like, "Oh, why don't you do a comic book with the?" Because like the robot is I hate to say popular, but like one of the original pieces of the robot has been like that one always sold like print wise,
Uh-huh.
and so people are like, "Oh, that'd be cool if you do like a comic." I'm like, I kind of like honestly, I was kind of taking it like how what's his face in Heroes, the artist, I can't remember his name right now.
Isaac.
Isaac, yeah, like his
Yeah.
paintings were the, you know, the sections of the comic book. Like each piece was like the
Oh
fight,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Because like
Yeah.
there was like the scene when who is it? Is it Peter when he puts all the paintings together and it looks like a page of like a comic book page.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I kind of was like in a sense taking inspiration from that. Like I wanted each painting to be like the art series is the comic, if I wanted to call it a comic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now
It's
I'm
kind
kind
of
of like,
like Coheed and Cambria. Claudio, he has like I don't know if you know this, but every album is a story, but every album of Coheed is also part of their comic book series, or his, I should say, Claudio's comic book series. I think I'm pronouncing it. I always say it's Armory Wars, but I think it's Amory Wars.
hmm,
And it just ended. Like, dude, it's been going on for 20 years. So like he's always released a volume of a comic book. But if you look at every Coheed and Cambria CD, it's the story of the comic. And people
hmm.
didn't know, I didn't know that for the longest time. And I was like, no shit. And then
I
here I'm
heard
like, oh,
about that, but not that.
yeah, it's a legit thing.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so like
I knew he
I
had a
get that.
comic series. No, I'm sorry,
It's
I
pretty
cut you
cool,
off.
man. No,
Uh,
no, no. I was saying it's like it's pretty cool like what he's doing, and I can understand like if you're creating a narrative, even if it's little increments of it, that'd be pretty
yeah,
neat. So
like
do they do
Zines are
the do, do they do the exhibit like Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Do you get like a week? Do you get
it's gonna be
how
a
long
for
does it?
it's gonna be up for 6 months. So it's like
Oh,
yeah,
oh shit. Dude,
yeah.
look at you.
Oh,
That's
right.
awesome.
Who would have thought?
So it does it stay up like in a section of the building
Mhm.
for you said like 6 months then? Oh, that's pretty sweet,
Yeah,
dude.
like I selected it myself
Congrats.
too. Thank you. Yeah, I got to like choose what space to take up. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I honestly I won't even know till I check it out to see how much I can fit up there. Um,
Hmm.
Even still, right? Even if I can't for whatever reason, if like, well, if just not enough room, but if I don't end up
Hmm.
putting all of the paintings up like that, I'm okay with that. I think I just
Yeah.
generally want to have a, share like a lot. So a lot of the ones I haven't like, I've never made prints of. Like I have a few that I never like I rarely would display at pop-up markets when I was still allowed
Hmm.
to, because then like all throughout this year I haven't had the popular pieces out because for the exhibit. Like I've discontinued a lot of pieces from my website and from events just
Hmm.
for the exhibit. So, but
Oh wow.
um what I was getting at before was that like I have so many ideas like I like that involves the Tech Utopia narrative. So
Yeah.
I'm slowly getting close to that space of like the headspace for it. So
Hmm. You
so
gotta do it, man.
I know, but I was still like just busting out some, fan art here and there a little bit. I actually
Hmm.
kind of took a break for a little, like just from art. It's been kind of slow. Like I just started
Yeah.
picking the pencil back up again. But
Yeah. I feel like that happened to both you and I since we last met. I drew All Might. I did All Might. I did Chrono from Chrono Trigger.
yeah,
And then
you're
I
active.
really had well, I did those two since we last met, and that was back in May. And then I started focusing more on getting my YouTube, like doing the banner for YouTube and all that other, all that bullshit that you got to do. Because I'm like, oh, great, that's not going to do it itself. And then finally, I finished the big boy, the Howl's Moving Castle.
Hmm.
Um, and that's all I really have kind of done. Like I've doodled, like when I go somewhere, I'll quick sketch, but I
Yeah.
haven't like done, as you said, like fan art and stuff. And I know I was like
You did some
my
Ninja
brain's
Turtles
like,
stuff.
yeah, I started doing that in Procreate, just like a quick that was the first day of my vacation last week. Yeah, I started doing that, but like it's just like I consider like fine like the stuff that's final as like the real stuff. Even though sketching is sketching and I'm like practicing and doodling, but I feel like I don't know, maybe I have drawn more than I thought I did.
Yeah, I
But
think
I
you're
know I
pretty
was
active.
focusing. I feel like yeah, maybe I was. But I feel like I was focusing more on the YouTube thing and getting that all situated as best I can so that way I can then write my scripts and start recording B-roll. Um, and then my grandmother, that situation happened. So it was like, ah, shit. So now, working, then going to visit her at the hospital and, staying there for 2 hours or so or 3 hours takes a chunk of the time, but, it's all worth it. But, you know, stuff happens. So,
Mm.
um,
Well, yeah, you
yeah,
probably
man.
just like blew your wad like artistically. You're just so active
Yeah,
artistically. You
yeah.
just
I didn't,
got all the
yeah,
stuff done.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was drawing more than I thought, but I felt within myself like the stuff that I wanted to draw. Maybe that's what I meant.
Mm,
Um, because I have like a list of stuff. Like I just started writing stuff down. Like I've been rewatching Dexter, because I haven't watched the last two seasons of Dexter.
yeah, I never finished
Um,
it
so
either.
yeah, so I started rewatching that, and I thought, oh, that'd be cool. Like draw Dexter and maybe get something like some fan art or something like that. Then I thought, oh, Breaking Bad, write that down. I've watched that show a bajillion times. So it's things like that that I was focusing more on, like having a list of stuff to resort to.
Mm,
So because yeah, I know that if I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck do I draw? I'm gonna
yeah,
be like, all right, I'll just play a video game instead.
yeah,
So,
right.
you know,
I feel
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
I've been like easily getting hooked on like sketch cards. They're so fun to do. So
yeah.
yeah, I've been I'm coming up with like more and more because my goal really is to when sell, when I try to sell them at events, like I want to have the binder. Like I don't want to just have a little
Yeah,
card
yeah.
there. Like I want to have like binders of cards, and
Hmm.
so I have like all these ideas. It's a matter of when to execute. But
Hmm.
I just started the Deadpool and Wolverine one, and it's a pair.
Yeah.
So because I want to do a
That
page
movie's
where
coming out, yeah.
all the cards make one big picture because they used to do that with trading cards. Like
Oh
like
yeah. Oh
Marvel was like
man.
big on that. So I want
Yeah,
to
I
always
forgot
make
about that.
yeah, I
Holy
always want to
shit.
do my version of that with something. Um, but
Dude,
yeah,
way to unlock a memory, bro. Oh my God.
oh yeah, they're the shit.
The
And it's funny
90s
because
collector cards.
I
Oh
have my brother's
yeah.
collection, and he has one, and it's the Danger Room, and he has
Uh-huh.
one missing, and it's it's Shatterstar in the Danger Room,
Mm-hmm.
X-Men, and the Cable's there, and
Mm-hmm.
um, well, what do you call it? Yeah, he never had the Shatterstar. I'm like, fuck. Like, 'cause
Oh man.
every now and then, it's actually I think it's in my bookshelf somewhere. Um. Yeah, I have his collection, and it's just like, man, what a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That was definitely like the
the
golden
last
age of comics too.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's yeah. I'm like trying to refrain from like reminiscing on on that time period because I just like I was doing it with my buddy Mike.
Uh-huh.
We were just pointing out how the 90s in general was like peak. Just
Yeah,
everything was just cool. Like,
dude.
you know,
So much shit got pumped out.
yeah.
I still play a lot of I still play a lot of video games. I mean, if you saw my broom, you'd be like, "Yep, that's you're still Marcus." But like, dude, even thinking about video games, like, dude, video games came out in the 90s like once a like crazy.
Dude.
Like, I always think about PlayStation 1. I'm like, "Holy shit, there were so many games that came out." And now it's like, well, you got to wait another 3 years, 4 years until, the sequel comes out, or that same company that made a video game you like, you got to wait another 2 years.
Yeah.
There's a gap. And like I get it, there's a lot of production in video games and a lot of money, but the 90s, dude, we were getting thrown so much shit in our face. It's crazy. Dude, yeah, but it's insane.
Good time. So it's
Yeah.
funny talking about playing video games because this past weekend I was playing a lot of Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge because
Hmm.
I bought like
Dude.
I don't know if it's not an extension pack, but like
Mhm.
they have like a DLC in there
Yeah.
to play as all the characters. And
Hmm.
so I was just playing. And I'm like, man, this game is so good.
It
Uh,
is.
like all the bosses, like just recalling. I mean, a lot of the toy, like we had so many toys. I mean, a lot of them were my brothers, and they were just hand me downs. But
Hmm.
I was able to like point out which guy I had as a kid, which action figure, and just what a good
Hmm.
time. And that game was so reminiscent of the original video game, arcade game.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
thinking to myself, I was on edibles too, so I was just like really in. And,
Dude, even Shredder, like at the end, like the boss fight with Shredder was kind of hard, but even when he mutated, didn't he mutate like twice? I forget, but I
yeah,
remember being like he went like he did like a super shredder at the end, and it was such a different take on it, but they
yeah.
captured the essence of like Turtles in Time, all of them. Like it,
You can tell they were
even the music
fans.
was like a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the soundtrack was amazing. Like some
yeah.
of them were like
Uh,
real songs.
there's
Uh
another game I would recommend, Streets of Rage 4.
oh,
So
forward. Mm.
if you've ever played the Sega games like back in the day, they were fantastic, but The fourth game came out when the pandemic started, and it was on Xbox Game Pass. So it's like Netflix for games. So you get it for
Yeah.
free, you pay the subscription or whatever. But that game hits the nail on the head, just like Turtle Shredder's Revenge. It's like
Okay.
it's Streets of Rage all over again. The freaking music slaps, like it's so
Uh,
damn good.
the
And
slaps.
yeah, dude, it was incredible. And I still listen to the soundtrack like when I'm just, drawing or hanging out and stuff. It's that
Nice.
good.
I love it.
And I'm like, I like those video game companies that are like indie like, the ones that did the Shredder's Revenge, because
Yeah.
I think they know the point of video games, whereas a lot of video games now are just trying to grab cash and get the little kids to play Fortnite and all that
Yeah.
BS. So,
I was
there's they
thinking,
could go.
I was thinking, because it's tribute games, the developers for Shredder's Revenge, and I was thinking
Mhm.
they should do an X-Men arcade game. Like, how dope would that be?
That's in the works, buddy.
No way. You think?
Yeah.
What you think or you know?
Yes. So there's talks of like an X-Men arcade-esque like remaster or to some degree, like the old arcade beat 'em up is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Not the one where it's like the platformer where fucking oh my God, I can remember
Not a,
Nightcrawler's like teleport where it's like like whenever he teleported, but yeah, the old one where it's a beat 'em up. Yeah,
yeah.
there's talks about that. And then there's
Nice.
a Wolverine video game coming out. So
I'm aware of
there's
that.
this,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. So I think they're planning it probably, and that's the thing about Marvel Disney is
Yeah.
they plan around releases, which is kind of bullshit because it has afflicted the Marvel versus Capcom franchise heavily. So once Marvel got bought out by Disney, Marvel versus Capcom 3 was like the last good one. And then after that, all of them were shit because they released Marvel characters that had to be, the timing of the characters coming out for movies and shit like that. And people were like, that's not Marvel versus Capcom. Like, that's not, what that's all about. As you know, you can go in a Marvel versus Capcom game and you got 48, 56 characters blasted at your face. So everything's like has a business model behind it, especially with Marvel and Disney and all that. So
Right.
and there is talks about it with the X-Men arcade, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's coming towards that Wolverine release and maybe the X-Men movie. So
Mm.
yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty sick,
Well,
man.
hopefully that
Brings
comes
me
out for
back.
Xbox One because that's what I have.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
man. I'm sure it will.
because I remember hearing talks about Ronin, but the game for that isn't going to be on Xbox One, but it's going to be on uh Xbox. What is like the newest version?
He's Series X. Yeah,
Yeah. Like
it is
fuck.
confusing.
But I'm like, damn, why? Like, why not both?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I know. It's outdated, I think, at this point. They're not really, I mean, they are kind of releasing stuff for it, but that's the glory of Game Pass is like you pay the subscription $15 a month and you
Yeah.
got
I
you
might have
got
to
so many games at your beck and call.
I
That's how I
gotta
played Shredder's Revenge.
yeah. Yeah, I mean I
Mm.
bought it. I was like, I'm getting this. And I got the Cowabunga
Yeah.
collection. Like I was all it's
Oh
so
yeah,
funny,
it's a
like
good one.
when it comes to like my childhood, like that one's like a big trigger, like in a positive way. Like, I mean, I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Transformers too, and there's so much good stuff, but Ninja Turtles
Hmm.
always got me, man. I was like, oh, like
Yeah,
that one
same.
always hooks me. Uh, but well,
Who's your favorite turtle?
if I had to just pick one, it'd be Raph.
Yeah, that's the same for me, Raphael. He's the
I
most badass one, and yeah.
Who's the last one?
All right, I said he's the most badass one.
Oh, badass one. Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I always
Did you
bounce.
see the computer animated ones?
I saw the latest
Did,
one. I forget what it was. It was just like what was
oh no.
the Mutant Mayhem?
Oh yeah, that was good. I just watched that not too long, and oh yeah, actually that's something I wanted to share with you now that I'm remembering. Shit.
That's awesome. Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's the Mutant Mayhem art book. I actually just got this. It was on sale at Barnes and Nobles for fucking $10. I was like, hell yeah, I'm
What?
gonna get that.
$10?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah, so
fuck?
like it's originally the art book was originally $40 and
Okay.
they had like a sale of like art books, music, you know how Barnes and Nobles is.
Yeah.
They have sales of like the random books and this was there and I was like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Fuck
grab
yeah.
this, of course.
Yeah,
But
my
yeah,
brother
dude,
would
it's
collect books, and he would. I have them now, but he has the Hercules, like Disney's
yeah.
Hercules and Bugs Life, and I love that shit. I love. I miss those.
Yeah, I thought about you when I picked it up. I was like, oh, I know G loves the turtles, but yeah, some of this stuff is really good in here, so you got to check it out. There's definitely like stuff you can find online where you can see it too,
Yeah,
but
but I
having
like
having a
having the
book,
actual book
yeah,
too. Like,
yeah,
gotta.
but yeah, it's pretty sick. But I'm talking about the movies before that with like Megan Fox, where they did the like,
Oh, the Michael Bay one.
lo- yeah, those ones. So
Uh,
I will say I enjoyed them, but the only turtle that I enjoyed out of all of them was Raphael because the guy that played him
oh, it's
was
Reacher.
yeah, Alan, the guy who plays Alan Reacher. I don't know what his name is, but
Alan
dude,
Richard.
he hit the nail. Oh wait, that is his name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alan Richardson.
he played yeah, Richardson. Yeah, he plays Reacher in the show.
Yeah.
Uh, but dude, he played Raphael pretty like in my head. I was like, dude, that's Raphael. Like
Mm.
that to me is like that's him. Everyone else, I was like, ah. Like it's okay. Johnny Knoxville
Yeah.
was Leonardo. This was really weird.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
underwhelming. Like, I mean, it was just beefed up, man. Like,
yeah.
I mean, because like, knowing how they would execute with like the motion capture, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, for sure the fight sequences are gonna be dope because they're ninjas, right? Like that's my logic. Like,
Yeah,
so you can get like some really good choreography down, but it's Hollywood shit. So
yeah,
damn, that was a miss on that. But it
yeah,
was like yeah, visually it was cool, like special effects and stuff, but it was just at the same time it felt underwhelming for me. Like it's a fun movie
yeah.
I can yeah, it's just like one of those fun movies you can
Popcorn.
watch like or
Yeah.
catch on TV in the middle of like,
Yep. Yeah. That's
watch
exactly
it
what I'm thinking
anyway.
of.
But I really,
Yeah.
like the first one is always the one for me, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
So
Yep.
the
That's
ooze,
a classic.
the ooze one was fun. It was like getting more colorful. But that first one,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, dude,
tonality just was different.
dude, they depicted New York in that pretty damn well too. Like 80s, 90s New York was pretty damn dark. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
of movies I go and watch. Like I watched Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and another Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called Sudden Death. And both those movies, I was like, damn, they really captured the essence of the 90s really well, and you don't even know it. Like you probably didn't know it back then because
Yeah.
you're in the 90s, you know?
Yeah.
But then when you watch it later on, you're like, oh wow, not many movies, some movies do it pretty well, others just kind of don't. Um, but yeah, the Turtles, like there's like I think of movies that depict cities pretty damn well, like Taxi Driver with De Niro
Mm,
and Turtles. Like it's like they captured the essence or the aura of
of that
the
time.
city during that time. Yeah, and it's pretty gnarly and how it's yeah, it's like a capsule in time that you can go back and watch and be like, yep, this is what it used to look like. Everything was black and rainy. It looked
Yeah.
like shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what else is new, guy?
Not much, man, other than just planning everything out.
Yeah.
I haven't skated yet. That's
No.
something I would. I know it's dude. It's been hot here. I don't know how hot it's been down there,
Yeah.
but
Brutal
It's
here
been
too.
105 the
Oof.
last like 2 weeks. It's been, yeah, it's not been fun. So just been going to the local pool. It's down the street. Got a pass just to kind of hang out there and go in there, but otherwise just staying inside because it's just disgusting out. Vacation. I'm on a 2 week vacation. I go back to work next week, but
Okay.
yeah, it was more planning and stuff for the channel, finishing the Howl's
Yeah.
Moving Castle piece I did.
Are you gonna color that?
And no, I actually wanted to ink it, but like I like the way that it turned out with all the pencil and some of the shading I did.
Okay.
Um, just like the line weight of like where I put stuff, I was like, no, I don't want to fuck this up because I'm still kind of like I'm still retracing my steps like that in that aspect from going from pencil to ink. Um, I didn't feel confident enough on such a big thing just yet. So, but yeah, I thought about coloring it and I thought, no, I think it looks good. Um, just how it is. So it's definitely like the first time I've drawn something this big in probably a decade. So it's been a long time. But yeah, otherwise, man, not much going on. Like not since we met what, middle of May or something like end of May? Not
Yeah,
much
was
is
it? It kind of feels like
yeah, so
it feels like long ago.
yeah. I started doing watercolor, so like I've been
Okay.
kind of
Fuck yeah. Come to
so
the
it's something
watercolor side.
yeah, so I've never done it before and I started just drawing Goku actually just cuz I was like, "Ooh, all right, let's just do a uh quick little 5x7, I think it's like watercolor paper, but I've never done these before and I see a lot of
Yep, that's what I
Instagram
use.
people use these. Oh yeah, 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 that's right. You did your turtles thing, right? With this?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fun.
So I just wanted to, yeah, it's definitely learning curve for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Because I'm like, oh shit, shit, shit. And then I'm like, I gotta dry it, and then I gotta go
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, you gotta like work on your like water usage or like how
Yeah.
much you're squeezing. Because I have
Yeah.
tight grip,
So
so sometimes I would overdo it with the water. Well, I gotta sneeze.
God bless you, my
Thank
friend.
you. I
Father,
forgot I
Son,
have
and
a
Holy
button here,
Spirit.
mute button. Nobody bothered.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I've been wanting to tell
I
you.
guess I guess I've been drawing more than I have. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I feel like I said, I feel like I haven't been, but I guess it's more because I've been doodling rather than doing stuff.
Well,
But yeah, now I'm like, yeah, I started watercoloring.
you finished the Osborne piece,
So,
right? The Green Goblin.
oh yeah, I did that too. Jesus
This
Christ.
fucking guy. Have you been
Yeah.
hitting my shit here? Have you been like puffing on my
No,
shit?
I don't even smoke. I think it's just because I was so busy with work and having to like close the projects and the clients I work with before I headed to vacation to make sure everything was good. And then and then my grandmother going into the hospital, like that just kind of like I felt like
I'm fucking with
in a
you.
way, I felt like I was going a mile a minute. And then I'm like, oh wow, the day just went. And then I'm like, I feel like what I've been doing is planning YouTube and watching Dexter and maybe doodling when,
Dude,
and
you're on
that's it. Like just in
autopilot
my
when you're drawing, then.
yeah.
You're
Yeah, I know.
barely conscious.
Yeah, I know. I am Ultra Instinct Marcus right now at this point. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I
That's
did. I
awesome.
did. You're right. I did finish the Green Goblin in Procreate. Shit.
Yeah.
I forgot. I forgot about that.
Jeez.
Jeez. So to the audience, yes, I lied. I've been drawing more than I thought I
You,
have.
you're your friend, uh,
Yeah.
taking a piss or
Oh yeah,
something.
that's
I don't
yeah.
know. Just kidding.
Yeah, damn. No, you're right. Oh man. You got me.
I'm looking at your page right now.
Shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Holy
Oh
crap.
yeah, now I remember this Goku picture. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yep, yep.
good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like That's awesome. Wait, who's is that? For a second, I thought that was Sol. Oh, is that Solace? It is. I thought for a second it was.
Oh yeah, it's like if you keep going, you'll see the
Sorry. For
final.
like the listeners, I'm looking at his Instagram. This is like
Yeah, yeah.
people listen to
That's
me. What
actually
the fuck are they talking about?
yeah, what the hell? Yeah, so that's actually one of my favorite things that I've drawn so far, and to this day it still is. Like there's just something about that. Like I took my time doing that. Like it took me I really it took me like 2 weeks to do that, maybe three, because I was really like, okay, this is the first time I'm making like a composition, of the Metal Gear characters and all that for Metal Gear Solid 1. And I'm like, to this day, I'm pretty proud of that one because I'm like, dude, I'm not like that's when I was starting to get into the flow and habit of drawing again. And I was like, that turned out well. And then now I'm like, fuck, my shit's sucking right now at some points. I'm just because so I'm doing a lot more practice stuff.
Yeah,
So just trying to get my mind in like the 5 second or 5 minute thing of sketches. So
that's good.
um yeah,
I have
but
uh I have these
otherwise,
I have these figure arts figures for Tamashi Nations figure arts.
oh yeah.
Yeah, like the blank ones because they're great
Yeah,
for
those
stuff like that.
they got like I know I'm like people can't see me doing this other than the video on
Yeah,
your YouTube, but like don't they have like the posable like where they
yeah,
really move and stuff like that?
they're very
Oh, that's
articulated.
pretty sweet.
They come with various accessories and like hand positions or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's pretty
Yeah, it's
sick.
really useful. I mean they are. I mean I don't know what the prices are, but I'd say
They're pretty expensive.
they
That
are
that I
expensive.
yeah.
But I don't know. I've yet to like come across like any cheaper ones that are just as good. It really
Yeah,
depends
yeah.
how much you want to get out of it. Uh,
Hmm.
because they're really, they're very good. Very useful. But
Have you used them for like just getting different poses as far
yeah,
as
oh
like
yeah, oh
yeah?
yeah. Doesn't yeah, like doesn't. I don't use it like all the time, but yeah,
Hmm.
for a lot of cases, I've used it for the art that art series, the Tech Utopia, and
Hmm.
like just other shit too.
Oh,
Um,
sweet.
yeah, but I've been wanting to not rediscover, but kind of play with like more dynamic character designs, like
Hmm.
um, and not just because like I know when I do fan art, it's like it's practically like copy art. So I want to just like
Yeah.
have fun with it again and just not
Hmm.
do like the exact thing. So,
Hmm.
or like, or even just like copying the style of the original artist. Like I want to go back to just like having my own, yeah, just like my own different style. And I was kind of playing
Yeah.
around with that a little like a while back, but came off of it. It's like
Hmm.
this, it's an illustration of this chick, but like like hot pink hair and her eyes are like coming out. It's like glued to her phone screen and
Hmm.
like the what do they call like the red veins in the eyes? They they
Veins.
are they just called veins?
Vessels, maybe
Uh
vessels, like blood vessels.
yeah, they
Yeah.
they write out the word stuck and
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
um but like her character design is very like long. It's kind of reminiscent of shit, Eon Flux. I don't know the artist's name,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah.
that style. So
Ah.
like they had very elongated like limbs. So
Hmm.
she like her figure was very, you know, unnatural. Uh,
Yeah.
but it was really
Got
fun. Just
anime titties.
they're not huge or like lush. It's just kind of like
I
it.
know.
Do
You know
I?
how anime titties are.
Yeah, they're just big booty though. I'll admit. I think I gave her a booty.
Yeah, yeah.
But like Anyway, like just having fun with that, like that
Hmm.
kind of, because there's like something I've realized how much in love I am with shape language. So there's
Hmm.
something with the shapes of these characters and their limbs, like they're
Hmm.
fun. It's the only
Yeah,
way to
yeah.
describe it. Um, Not that like doing what I usually do is fun too, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just like kind of curious to kind of go in that space.
Hmm.
Uh, but there's like a million things. There's too
Yeah.
many projects like side like I like
Then you gotta
art I have like
practice.
what's that?
And then you gotta practice on top, like, just to kind of stay on top of it, you know.
Yeah, it's just
Because that'll help you. Yeah, that'll help.
like it's just a matter of yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just like every each thing is like is like a phase. Uh
Hmm.
like for instance, I have a food art series that's like that I started also that I want to keep going with, but again, it's just a matter
Hmm.
of when. So I have
Yeah.
all these other ideas. I was just like, I don't know when I'm gonna get to. I want to make zines because zines are popular. So
What are those? What is that?
it's like they're kind of like these very low uh like cheap comic strips that artists will make, with like a sheet of paper. Some of them are very uh what's the word? Some of them are pretty, a lot of detailed art in it. Some of them there's a lot of text in it, like information. People use it for informational stuff. Others use it for storytelling, like a cartoon or something.
Oh, I see.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like it's
Okay.
just like a page of it. So they're like, I don't think at least here, like I know some people do it for like just donations, like they're
Hmm.
practically free, just because it's like it
Hmm.
doesn't, they're just printing it like regular shit. Um,
Hmm.
they're not using any fancy paper or anything. Uh,
Hmm.
and yeah, I don't know. I was just like thinking about, doing something like that, just like it'll just be one, just everything's black and white, or like I've seen people print it on their zines on like colored paper. So if I got like
Hmm.
colored sheets or blue sheets and just have like just ink comic book strip,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, that's just like another, like all these things fucking just they just keep adding up. It's a
Yeah.
good
Do
problem to
you?
have, but goddamn,
Yeah, it is.
calming.
Do you like write your stuff down like when you have your ideas, or do you just keep it up here in your head, or do you like
Uh, Both.
have like a process? Yeah.
Yeah, I do both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like whatever I can remember at the moment to write like this one down
Yeah, yeah.
is when I'll write it down. Tech Utopia stuff is all written down. The fan art
Hmm.
is mostly written down, but sometimes like I'll just come up with
Hmm.
like other random ideas because I want to
Hmm.
do more like crossovers. Like I have some neat ideas, and this is like really just geared to like late 80s, 90s kids. Like
Yeah,
um I want to do you remember Legends of the Hidden Temple?
absolutely.
What's the Aztecs the statue's name again? Hotep? No. Olmec?
I
Olmec.
remember I remember his voice.
I think it's Olmec. And so I wanted to do that scene like that scenery, but it's
Uh-huh.
Indiana Jones like walking up, you know?
Oh yeah, dude, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have never, yeah. See, you got some good ideas,
Dude,
bro. Write
I
that
got a
shit
bunch.
down.
I got a
Pull it.
bunch of good ones, but it's
Yeah,
just
that is a pretty good one.
here. I'll
That
share.
is,
I'll share a couple.
oh man, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting Secret insight to the mind of a madman.
Um, so the OMEG one. Oh, okay. So another one I think would be fun is Mario and the Little Shop of Horrors plant.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. With Rick Moranis, yeah.
yeah, do
Holy
like
crap.
something like that. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. And then one I'll share one more. And that is this would be a big one, but it'd be really
Mhm.
fun and like only like real like I guess gamers, like old school gamers would get it. But it'd be Mega Man and Bomberman fighting Bomb Man. Bomb Man was
Ah, yeah, yeah,
one of the
yeah,
robot masters in the
I,
first one. But it'd be
yeah,
like
yeah,
a fight scene, like them two tag teaming
yeah, dude.
as
That's yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Those are some good ideas, man. Like a
Yeah.
collaboration of different IP or intellectual properties for sure. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
so well, because I had like a pep talk with some fellow artists at Faith Festival, and
Hmm.
because they're like, why aren't you at comic book conventions? I'm like, oh, and it's a insecurity thing, and they're like, yo, fuck that, go, you got some good
Yeah,
shit,
do it, man.
So
Yeah.
anyway, um, so having a little bit of more confidence to try more of that, like I've only done like real small ones like
Hmm.
close to like comic book conventions. But
Yeah.
yeah, it makes me nervous because you never know. Like everyone, I can only keep up, with so much.
Hmm.
So that's
Hmm.
like my worries. Because I was always the concern with like anime stuff. When someone sees Luffy, they're
Yeah.
gonna think I'm gonna have Jujutsu Kaisen or some shit. And I'm like, dude, I don't
Yeah.
even watch that. And One
Yeah.
Piece, like I don't even watch One Piece. So
No, dude, there's so many episodes. Just watch the Netflix live action. You get a
yeah,
sense of it.
I tried and but I will say I just started rewatching an old anime and this is like one like I know it's like not popular with like my friends I don't think,
Mhm.
but it's called Hajime no Ippo. It's a boxing anime.
Oh yeah, yeah, I
Oh, you
do
know
know
that
that
one?
one.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
so
so it
good.
comes on our cable TV. Like we have like this Samsung, this smart TV has like a cable TV and
Okay.
like connected to it, so it's like free channels, and one of them is like an anime channel. And this show came on like a year ago, and I'm like, oh shit, this is pretty rad. And I
Yeah.
had heard about it, and I was like, dude, this is what's it called from Nintendo? The fucking show, like Punch Out. It's
Yeah.
Punch Out the show. And like even when he's training and stuff, I start thinking of the song from the Nintendo, the do
Yeah.
do 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 do, and um, yeah, dude, that's a pretty damn good anime.
Dude, it's
Even
so
the
good.
animation's sick.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like pretty good for that's the thing too. I guess what this is during like the 2000 teens when it came out. I don't know.
I
Like I don't
think
know
it
what
was late 90s. Well, there's different
oh,
there's
was it?
different yeah, there's
The last
different
season is more recent, but the old like the first season I guess is that was 90s. I didn't think it went that far back.
yeah, the
Uh
anime, I remember looking it up and I was like, damn, I don't remember this anime like uh
and it's a different
gee,
style too. Like, the way they draw
mhm.
their noses for the
Yeah,
male for the
it's
men.
very Speed Racer.
Hmm.
Kind of reminds me of like the style. Yeah, so 76 episode anime from 2000 to 2002. And then they brought a second series, and that was in all of 2009, and then a third, and then the third one was in 2014 to 2016, and now they're doing like a re-release in 2020. So it's like
Oh.
I didn't know that because
Well, it's
I'm sure like when you look at anime, you're like, oh, that anime is from the 90s. Like you could just tell
yeah.
the coloring, the color palettes.
Yeah.
Um, so that's
It's
what
just
I've
the
been
picture
watching when it
quality.
is on the TV. Yeah, but dude, that's a pretty sick anime.
It's on Netflix now, so I restarted watching it, and that show was like
Oh, I
getting me
didn't know that.
motivated. Yeah, and it's like it got me motivated to like work out harder and shit. I was like, oh
It's
man,
fucking All
this
Might over there.
this might be the thing I need. Like I started counting calories again. you know, so it's
Sweating in the
hilarious.
garbage bag.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but
pretty sick.
that's like the only other. Yeah, I still
So
go
has that
back.
like inspired you to want to do the comic book stuff or conventions? I mean, like you mentioned,
Oh yeah.
um, like
Fell off the
regarding anime. You know, it's okay.
Uh, uh, yeah. So I don't know. Like, it's just doing fan art is just fun too. Like, so I like there's like no like in-depth meaning behind it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just having fun with ideas.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I feel like the Tech Utopia stuff is like the stuff I use is the space I use to express my observations,
Yeah.
which is with the crazy world. So
Mhm.
I have to have like different um creative outlets to expend my energies.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. Like that, it sounds like that's your niche, you know, you found it sounds like you found your niche to me at
yeah.
least. And from what I've seen you do with that Tech Utopia stuff, it's like it's pretty unique to you. I don't see many other artists, I mean, that I've been following for years on Instagram have anything similar.
Um,
Um,
they're out
maybe
there.
like
I can't think of
yeah.
anyone I can't think of anyone specific, but they're out there. Like
Mhm.
I've seen some like if you want to call it cyberpunk or yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, like that kind of post-apocalyptic, Matrix-esque,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
They're out there. But yeah, it's just funny because especially when it comes to the robots, because I don't know jack shit about like that stuff. Like machines have always intrigued me, but and they're so hard to just to kind of like
Yes.
come up with on the spot and make it make sense. So it's just funny that I'm like deciding to dip my toes in this kind of art. I don't even know how to like what else to just like label it as, but yeah, just like drawing all the like the mechanisms and stuff. Like I don't know jack shit
Bro,
about that, but I'm
anime.
trying it anyway. Yeah.
I can give you some anime. I'm sure maybe, I mean, Gundam being one of them. I'm
Oh
looking at
yeah,
a
of
Gundam
course.
piece of art. Yeah, I have like a Gundam piece of artwork by one of my favorite artists on my wall here. Neon Genesis, Evangelion,
Mhm.
Macross Plus, like bro, there's Escaflowne, like there's a
Yeah,
lot, man.
there
And
is a
it's
lot.
so crazy like how techy this shit looks, but it's good reference for, you
It
know, if
is.
you're wanting to like add that kind of shit to your stuff. So
Yeah,
just know that it's out there.
that's true.
Me-
That's true.
Metal Gear. That's another one.
Oh man, I love.
Yeah.
I don't. So I'm like terrible with names, but the artist that would do all the artwork for that, like the character
Hmm.
sheets and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Uh, because I remember when they used to make like the video game magazine, or not magazines, but like the books for the games, like how to beat them, and then they would always
Hmm.
include the artwork. And yeah, man, that was the best. Just looking at the
I
artwork.
don't I don't think I've ever showed you my, I mean, I kind of can't because my Mac is right here. But this wall, now that you're bringing up video game artwork, so my wall right here, do you remember PlayStation Magazine back in the day?
Yeah, yeah.
PSM?
Is that what
So
that
you know
is?
how every it's yeah, it's almost every single, they're like little 5x7s I printed out, and I just made my wall all the PSM magazines from my favorite artists. I should say my favorite covers. So there's some that are like cheesy, but yeah, so it starts off from the first
Ah,
one up to near the top and it works its way all the way. So I think I got like there's one, two, three, four, five rows, and so there's 40 pictures up there.
oh shit.
So yeah, so there's little,
Man.
I just got them like little cheap picture frames at Walmart for $1, and then got the little 5x7s, and so that's what I'm actually using as my YouTube background because I was like, bro, that's like one of my things that really got me to draw even more as a kid or get excited to draw as a kid was PlayStation Magazine. Like
Mm,
seeing when you open the magazine up and they give you like a breakdown of like the artists of how they drew that cover or the other ideas for covers they had. And I was like, oh, that's so fucking awesome. Like, yo, that's so sick.
I
But yeah,
think
it,
I
it's been a
my
huge inspiration for me.
my brother used to get the monthly, like I think it was Game Informer, and I want
Mhm.
to say they they also had like a comic section, like
Yeah,
like a
they do
cartoon
some. Yeah.
section or
Yep.
fan art,
Yep.
submissions. There was
Yeah.
those were always fun to look at. I remember
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite
Yeah.
parts about getting those
Yeah, that was Game Pro. I remember that too. They had like it was like a
Game Pro.
two-page slot, yep, where anyone could submit their fan art and stuff. And there'd be some, I mean, there'd be kindergarten stuff on there, which was, cute, but
Yeah,
there'd be some artists out there who I think one artist became a comic book artist just because of getting noticed doing that, which is pretty cool. But
yeah, yeah. Because
yeah,
I mean,
I
yeah,
got
you would see all sorts of levels of
yeah,
their skill and talent. It was like, yeah, like you were just saying, you would see some elementary type of stuff, and then you'd see some
yeah,
really good, you know, it's high potential work also. So yeah, that was awesome.
yeah. We don't get
But
that kind of shit anymore.
I
And
know
again, we're going back to the 90s. But
it's so
90s and
hard
early
to avoid,
2000s.
dude, because they really
I
was so
know.
good, man. Like I still
Yeah.
think about their toys, honestly. You know, who was it? I was talking about Mighty Max. Do you remember Mighty Max?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. And the
Dude,
little,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
had, it's like different environments or whatever. And they
It's
like would open up. Like one was
it's
like a skull.
it's the male version of Polly Pocket, but yeah, like the miniature toy.
Yeah.
Those were so fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I was describing them to a
Yeah.
friend, and and Nicole, I mean, she remembered Polly Pocket, but I was like, yeah, Mighty Max was like the boy version, and they had so many different sets, and it was so cool, like with the little monster.
Yeah.
Oh man, they were so cool. X-Men had a few of
Yeah.
those. X-Men had a couple. Ninja Turtles tried it too, like, but that era, like, that was great. Like, I was so into that shit.
Yeah.
Like, if I could, I
Yeah.
would
We had
collect. I
some
would try to get my hands on one just as for like a memorabilia
just to
thing.
do it. Like a Mighty Max.
Yeah, that'd be so
Yeah.
cool.
That'd be cool, man. Do
Yeah,
it.
but
That you could also probably draw stuff about Mighty Max too. Like that would be like,
I
dude,
thought
that's the
about
thing
it.
about Comic Cons and stuff like that is like the conventions are there's all walks of life and they're there. Like, dude, like when the Green Ranger passed away, for instance, I'm kind of
Oh
going
man.
off topic, but not. But when he passed away, that like hit me because I got a signed pop figure from him. And when he passed away, I've always wanted the Dragon Dagger. I used to have one as a kid, but it like broke and all that. And that was like
Yeah.
one of the toys that I remember. And I knew when he passed away, I hopped on eBay. I got it for so goddamn cheap. I was so proud of myself because I was like, I know in a month or at conventions, it's gonna be $100 or $200 more than
Yeah.
what it is now. And now I have like a shrine on my wall here
Nice.
of Green Ranger stuff. But yeah, it's like
I have a
you can
signed photo. But we did
of him, yeah.
me and Nicole got a picture with him too. It was when I was still fat.
Oh,
Funny.
oh,
I still had
oh
like the
man.
long
Dude,
hair.
that's
It was
nice.
like college G still. Yeah, it was still college.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Oh, was it?
yeah, when we met him. Uh yeah, that was good times.
Yeah.
Uh
When was it? I
yeah,
met him 2011,
I
2012.
yeah, for me, oh, I think I went in 20 I left 2010. So it
Yeah,
had to have
yeah.
been like 28 or I mean not 28. '08 or '09.
2008. Yeah.
Yeah. Said 20.
God rest his soul.
I know.
It's a sad story.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I would love to do a bunch of like early 90s and even 80s stuff, but I mean, that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. If I end up doing more comic book shows or, I
Mhm.
could, I could definitely
There's a
probably.
big one in Richmond last I checked.
There's
There's
GalaxyCon, and then there's
that,
another
yeah,
one.
GalaxyCon. That's what I was just. That's coming up, isn't it?
I
I
believe
think.
so. In the fall, I think.
Ye- Yeah,
September,
GalaxyCon
October.
Richmond is March, so it just happened.
Uh,
Yeah, but
that-
GalaxyCon I know is a
I
big
thought
one.
there's an wait. I could have sworn there's
They got
something.
a bunch. Yeah, there's GalaxyCon, San Jose, Columbus, Oklahoma City. They do random cities, but they are pretty popular. And it started in Richmond, if I'm correct. I might not be, but I know that in my mind, when I think of GalaxyCon, I always think, oh, the Richmond one.
Yeah.
So, but there's this YouTuber I wanted to share with you. There's this YouTuber I watch. He's 80K subscribers and whatever, so he's somewhat small, but he's an artist and he talks about his process. And he lives out in Sacramento. And that's actually what I did the draw this in your style for a couple weeks back. And he's got a good following on YouTube and Instagram, TikTok, and all that. But I watch his channel strictly to kind of get the insight for his YouTube videos to get the insight of like what it's like. And he'll even break it down. Like I paid 150 for the table. This is what I sold stickers. And stickers apparently is a thing that sells really well,
Dude,
which
it
like I have my
does.
water bottle filled with stickers, like just different artwork so far.
Yeah, I need to make more
But
stickers.
yeah, so like he just and he'll be super transparent. I mean, he's probably a little bit younger than us. I think he's like 31, 32, but he's been doing it since 2017 or something like that. So he's still kind of young when he started doing it. But yeah, it's pretty I'll have to send you his channel because he's pretty transparent about like the breakdown of like how much money he made and like he's breaking even or he didn't break even, he made more. Um, but it's also tough for him because he's in Sacramento, and then when you're outside of Sacramento, you got San Francisco, and that's pretty much it. So it's like here you're on the East Coast, bro. You got Baltimore within reach, you got DC within reach, you got Richmond, you got Philly. Like you got a lot of options for you to kind of work with. So
Yeah,
I would
but
leverage that if you could eventually.
I've never done like any road events, like I've never
Yeah.
had to the extent where I gotta get a hotel room or something, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so I just, yeah, I haven't found I mean, I haven't been searching either, but so I haven't found an opportunity to do something like that.
Hmm.
Like there's an event that I'm doing in August it's like a 2 hour drive. Like I don't do
Oh, wow.
anything further than that. Like an hour and a half is like my typical.
Hmm.
But yeah, 2 hours is like okay. This one's like you feel it
I
a
could take a
little
nap.
feel it a little bit.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, yeah.
and I've done that trip once so far and I'm like, yeah, this is it can be brutal, but
Hmm.
yeah, so we'll see. I think I don't know. I always worry about not having enough stuff. So also because
Hmm.
I'm so used to seeing everything, I'm like, yeah, I need more new stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just
Do
have to
you
produce everything. So
mhm. Do you like do you sell like original stuff? Oh, I know the answer to that because you've told me that last time. But like, do you make as many copies as you can, like print wise, just to see
yeah.
eventually like if things will sell? Yeah.
Yeah, I restock in batches of like 5 at the most.
Hmm.
Um But yeah, it sometimes takes a while to like run out of stock of something. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah. Did I answer your question?
You did answer my question. Are you getting sleepy, my friend?
No, I'm just high.
I know last time we talked. Yeah, I know last time we talked for 4 hours and you were like, God damn, like that's a long time. And now I'm like, I think he's starting to sleep. Like I see
No,
you're
no,
like
no.
reading this.
I'm definitely, well, you know what
He's
it
starting to
is?
fall asleep.
We got a new chair. So it's definitely nice to
Oh,
get.
you did.
I can actually lean on it now. Yeah.
Dude, I was like, there he goes. He's gonna fall asleep soon.
Oh no, but
Like
also like
there's
I'm high, so I'm like
yeah. That's the
chill.
G that I remember right there, ladies and gentlemen. For
Yeah,
sure. That is the
pretty
G.
much.
Now you just need to put that hand on the belly, but that's you don't got that anymore,
No,
so it's
the
just
belly's
abs.
there. Is there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like
Oh
it sucks,
man.
man. I was like I was starting off good with counting even just like staying in like my deficit.
Mhm.
And I didn't even set it that low. I'm like easing my way into like having to like just be more mindful of portion control and stuff like that because I've definitely been overeating.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm being
Oh.
real about it. But yeah, like so I was on a good track and then I kind of fell off. But
Mhm.
so I'm just kind of
Yeah.
resetting and then
I get that. I get that. I'm sitting here drinking soda. I've been on a soda kick for the
oh
last like
man.
year. And like, but I drink so much water. Like, I literally drink at least three of these, which is probably like 80 ounces of water. So I drink a lot of fluids.
Yeah.
Um, but I have to have at least like one soda a day. And that's been like a thing I've been doing for the last year. And I
Mhm.
know I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. But I know like I think I may have shared with you like I'm now gluten free just because
Yeah.
like I had blood work done and so that's been like, dude, I can tell differences of like how my skin feels now that I don't
Oh,
eat bread or consume it. It's weird like how quick that changes.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm
and you know,
pre-diabetic now, so
oh no,
yeah. But my blood work,
no,
I had it done recently and there's
hmm
progress, so I just have to like
that's good.
tighten up everything and I should be fine, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Like
about
the
balance,
doctor
man.
didn't seem worried about anything. Like I don't it's just I gotta go back to basics, try to eat clean and
Yeah.
so uh it just happens like in spurts sometimes. So just
hmm
trying to get that discipline back or like redevelop that discipline so I can because
Yeah.
like before when I had just moved because Nicole moved here before I did. So when I had moved, um and the apartment building that we moved into had a gym. So I was like
Oh, that's
because the
awesome.
thing is like my eating habits necessarily hasn't really changed. It's just that the output was like I always had, the resources to be able like to work, with the machines, the ellipticals, all that shit.
hmm
So I was able to,
Yeah.
burn like every session I was burning 800 to 900 calories. Like just to be able to start the day doing
Jeez.
that. Like it was nice and I was like at the lightest I've been and then I started getting familiar with the local restaurants and take local out and stuff. Like I started finding all the good spots, man. That was the thing. I didn't know
Yeah,
places to
yeah.
eat. So it was nice and then yeah, like now I'm just like, all right. Because I mean, yeah, you think about it, like when your whole environment changes, it's like and your access, it's like, yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
require
Are
different
you
efforts.
Are you strict on your diet like at all? Like do you
I
restrict
used to
yourself from
be.
something in particular or yeah.
I used to be. Now I just I try to keep the carbs down. Like when I
Mm,
was like out because like I was at a point to where I wasn't even counting my calories, but I was just
Mm-hmm.
everything was more intuitive. That was the thing. So
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I would only have rice like it was like very rarely. Like I wasn't eating like
Shit.
Filipino food at all. Um, so every once in a while I
I
had
eat rice like
rice.
3 times a week, maybe 4 times a week.
Now I
That's
kind of
like
eat
the
it.
closest carb I eat.
I eat it more regularly now, but when I was
Yeah.
again sort of like when I was more strict about it, yeah, I was eating rice every like
Mm-hmm.
once a week or something like that. Because like if I'm gonna have carbs, it's gonna be something easily digestible, and like only if I know I'm gonna be doing some real hard, like heavy cardio the next morning, I would have it.
Hmm.
But I always just made sure I was getting a lot of proteins and vegetables in any form.
Yeah.
Now, like,
Yeah.
just made sure I wasn't eating too much fried chicken or something because I'm a sucker for fried chicken. I'm a sucker for burgers. Like, like
Yeah.
I like to eat too. So I
Yeah.
also intermittent fast. So on good days, I'll have like something real small uh for like lunch. It's usually like close to lunch when I start eating. And then I'll have like a
Hmm.
big dinner. And that's kind of how I used to do things too. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
things are fluctuating. But my workout is just like the weight load and stuff like that changed
Hmm.
drastically. Limited dumbbells and also like my joint issues, so I can't do
Hmm.
certain dynamic movements with certain weight loads because just shit hurts
Hmm.
when I start like really contracting certain, I don't know, like muscles or whatever. So
Getting old sucks.
yeah, my and like it's all diet too. So I
Yeah.
just gotta, you know, again, I clean up my diet. I mean, it's that's all it is. And it does suck, right? Like getting old does suck,
Yeah.
but it's all right. Like it could be
Yeah.
worse. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, like, I mean, even just try glowing, going gluten free. There we go.
yeah.
Uh, I know it's helped. Like, I used to have this issue because I had my gallbladder out right after college, and it's just something like genetic or so they say, but it wasn't whatever it was. But like probably the last like 7 years, I dealt with like just this terrible nausea, and I always got it at nighttime, and it
Hmm.
sucked. It would suck the life out of me. Um, and sometimes it was like scary because I was like, am I fucking dying? Am I sick? Like, what the hell's wrong? And I've gotten tests done and all that. And then it finally came to this point where it was like, yeah, your gluten intolerance, blood work came back pretty high. Just try to eliminate it, see what happens. And I swear it was, like I said, it was like night and day. But yeah, like I miss fried chicken. I miss fucking French toast. I miss French toast. Like that's
Oh
the one
man.
thing.
Yeah.
But it is different, like how bread and gluten and all that really make your body, even just for people who aren't gluten intolerant, like sometimes their body just takes a longer time to digest or
Yeah.
process breads and stuff like that.
I used to do like
And
breadless options, like with especially
yeah,
burgers,
yeah.
and I
Hmm.
do them with tacos still to this day. Like sometimes we do Taco Tuesday,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll have a couple of like burritos, regular burritos, and then the rest of
Hmm.
them are like I call them like lettuce tacos, basically. But
Yeah, yeah. Lettuce burgers, man. I do the same thing.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I
I
find
mean now I
it
have to do it, but yeah.
I find it more. It's like messier for me, like because of the water, especially like having tomatoes too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Yeah.
it just like it gets real leaky if you got depending on like I guess the type of lettuce you're using. But
Yeah.
just because it's so much water. Um,
Yeah.
but
Even like bread has changed, dude. Like I don't do I think well yeah, you guys had Wawa in Jersey before you moved, obviously. But there's this one thing like in bread in particular before I was diagnosed with the gluten issue. I used to love going to like I had a Wawa down the street from where I lived with my buddies. We had this house and like we'd walk there after going to the bar or some shit, or just getting lunch together.
Mhm.
And I'd always get like a sandwich. I'd always get some sort of hoagie or whatever, like, they got the other options, the go-to little snack or, go-to meals or whatever. But I always needed them to make the sandwich. And as the years went on, I swear to fuck G, like the bread feels like you're eating a goddamn rock. And it's like
No.
I stopped getting Wawa sandwiches probably. like unless I was desperate, I just stopped getting Wawa sandwiches around the pandemic because I'm like, dude, the bread is not the same. Like there's stuff like I've eaten bread wise where I'm like, dude, this is what is going on? This is like different.
I
Am I getting older
know.
and my taste buds are fucked? Or is this like that what they do now?
I think I think it's what they do now. I've been
Yeah,
seeing
dude,
a
it's
lot of
awful.
videos on like all the fuckery, and I'm just like, no. I was like, I don't want to see
Yeah.
this shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. We try to keep it homemade, but yeah, because like even like takeout, like we don't I barely we barely eat from like you know, mainstream uh chain restaurants like Popeyes every once in a blue moon for me.
I've never
But
eaten there before.
oh man, it's so
I
good.
know. I hear I'm missing out, but I'm like, I can't have fried
I
chicken
know.
anymore.
It's fine, you know.
So it sucks.
But um but yeah, for the most part we just like try to keep it local. Just again, like now I'm paranoid of like all the fuckery with like the food industry, but
Hmm.
yeah, we usually just try to keep it local, or if anything, we're getting something from Kroger. But
What's that?
Kroger, it's like a grocery store supermarket. It's like
Oh,
like any other
yeah, yeah,
chain grocery store. And they got like their
yeah,
pre-made stuff. But it's
yeah,
like pretty decent.
yeah.
But yeah, man, it's yeah. Trying to eat clean and like make that like a regular
Hmm.
thing. Like yeah, I used to be able to do it so well, and then I don't know, got comfy, bro. Got comfortable.
You got a comfy chair now, so don't let it
Yeah,
slip, bruh. Don't let it
shit. I
slip.
know. Like getting the house too. I don't know. I just kind of blame that for no reason.
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, you blame it on the house?
yeah, nah.
Um,
But yeah, it's just I know I need to clean up my act a little bit. It
Well, and
does.
then you do cardio and stuff like that too, right? Normally.
Yeah. Yeah. It's usually now a combination of cardio and strength
Hmm.
endurance. Yeah. I do miss like lifting, like doing actual like heavy lifting, but yeah, there's like no point. That's the thing. As we get older, it's just like, all right, like it's got to be functional. It's got to be like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna build strength, it's got to pertain
Whatever.
to say again.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say like whatever makes you feel comfortable or feel like you're achieving something physically, like health style and all that, or
Yeah.
lifestyle wise.
I mean, even like cosmetically, like I would like to go back to my old like physique, or at least as close to it. But
Hmm.
yeah, in terms of like performance wise, like the exercises, like it's just now it's more about the functionality of it. Um,
Hmm.
and that's about it.
I think I said this the last podcast was like like you and I are short, like we're short
Yeah.
peoples. And when I was working out, I was lifting heavy and yeah, I looked good. I'll admit, like I felt good. But I was like, dude, I feel like a fucking house. Like when you're 5'5", 5'6", and like you're putting on 10 pounds, even 15 pounds of muscles, like that small shirt you wore comfortably is now like like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
tight.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I started just to like run more and skate more because I felt more just it felt fun to do.
Yeah.
And with weightlifting, it's like, man, there's so much maintenance to it. If you want to keep the way you look, or with that muscle and
Um,
body physique and all that
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
you know,
It a lot of it's the nutrition aspect too.
yeah, that too, yeah.
Yeah, it's
But I
just
was
like
like, I'll
can't eat.
never do this again. I'll never like I'll
Well,
lift
that's
this,
just.
I'll lift comfortably,
Mhm.
but I won't be lifting like heavy to be like, yo, I want some ladies. Like I want to get
Oh,
swole.
right.
Hey, baby girl. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that. Like I didn't want to that
The
sort of thing.
the squats and like heavy deadlifts, like I that was all about just testing my strength, I guess. My
Hmm.
strength and endurance. But I mean, yeah, like so even doing like body weight push-ups, like because again, my arm, but
Hmm.
um yeah, there was like a point where I was like doing 20, like doing 2 sets of 20 was like, ugh, that was like really fatiguing my arms because it's been so long
Oh
since
wow.
I've lifted something like just did something in that pace too.
Hmm.
So I was like, wow, just working out with these 15-pound dumbbells is like really depleted my strength here. So I started
Yeah,
doing more
yeah.
body weight stuff, and I jumped on. I'm starting to use the Center Fit app again, which
Okay.
was what I was using during quarantine, and that
Hmm.
helped me kind of like get nearly shredded to I was like a maniac. So I'm kind of like going back again, see like how my body recovers from it now that we're getting a little older.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
because like when I was looking at old photos, I mean I was like 33, it was like 5 years ago.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit, it's crazy. So I'm like, let's see how close I can get to that, and like just be comfortable with like what I'm eating too, because I don't want to be strict like I used to be. Like I used to be pretty rigid, and now I'm like,
Yeah.
eating more carbs than I usually would, and I have a
Hmm.
really bad sweet tooth.
Oh.
Yeah,
Do you eat
that's
like a
a
lot of candy or cupcakes or
no,
stuff
it's
like
like
that?
ice
Or
creams or cheesecakes.
ooh,
Yeah.
damn, damn.
Yeah, I don't fuck with
That's like
candy
good
as
stuff.
much as I thought I would be, but I think because I had so much dental work done the last couple of years, so I'm
Oh
like, all
wow.
right, like I ain't fucking around with candy as much.
Yeah,
As
that's
much
my
as I,
yeah, like soda, bro. Like that's I brush my teeth. I try like when I drink it, I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta brush my teeth. And luckily, I haven't had issues. I did years ago where like I had cavities, and I'm like, what? I haven't had a cavity ever, and I did a couple years back. So then now, whenever I do drink soda, I'm like, gotta brush the, especially my soda kick the last year. But yeah, my snacking is like more towards like popcorn. I love popcorn. Like I love cheddar popcorn, kettle corn
so
popcorn,
funny.
buttery popcorn.
I'm a
And
cheddar
like when it
guy.
comes to candy, I'm just like Reese's peanut butter cups, and that's really it. Like I hardly ever eat ice cream and all that. Like I would love to, but man, I know I'd be farting up a storm or like, you know,
I'm a sucker.
cheesecake is so good. Now that you say cheesecake, but damn,
Yeah, I'm a
I
sucker
would
for
be lighting
peanut
it up.
butter. Hell yeah. Well, last night I had a cheesecake ice cream of like
Oof.
later than usual. I was surprised myself that like I condoned it, but I was
Yeah.
like, fuck it. But yeah, oh my goodness, my cat just spooked the shit out of me. Uh right outside the door. But nah, I'm a sucker for peanut butter. Like Reese's. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
all things peanut butter chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's me. I resonate with
for
that.
sure. I got a peanut butter
For sure.
spoon because I love peanut butter so much. Nicole got it for me from was it
Yeah,
Christmas, I think? And it says G's peanut butter spoon on it. It's like engraved in the spoon.
that's
Because
nice.
I would
That's
literally
nice.
just that would be like my, like a snack or a dessert. If there was literally nothing else, I'll just fucking whatever. I'll take a big scoop of peanut butter and just eat that shit.
Dude, you used to eat, I remember in college, the one thing that I remember you eating, the two things I actually remember now that we're talking about food. I remember you eating bananas, like, and you ate them backwards. Like you did a flipperoo if I'm not mistaken. Like
Uh,
where, where the stem is or whatever.
yeah.
And I was like, is this motherfucker? But here I was like, oh, that's like a thing. Like you're supposed to hold the stem and then like, peel it from the opposite end. everyone does it from the stem,
Yeah.
and tacos. Now you talked about tacos, and I was like, bro, I remember us eating tacos a couple of times, like with the gang or just you and I or some shit. Like we've gotten Taco Bell. So those are the two things that like food wise that I remember sharing with you. And the banana thing, you doing the complete opposite. Because I've never seen someone do that at 22 years old, where I'm like, dude, what's he doing? So is he high? But no, here come to find out that's like an actual thing to
I
do.
wonder if I still do
So
that. I don't know. That's so funny. That's such a
I,
funny
I've seen you eat
observation.
bananas on your Instagram channel, so I haven't caught it, but maybe I'm not paying attention to it. But now that we're talking about food, that's what I'm remembering.
That's hilarious.
And the
Yeah,
Slurpees at 7-Eleven.
oh yeah, man. They used to be my
Yeah, those
shit.
are the blue one. There was a blue one you and Connor. I remember Connor getting it a lot too. It was like a mutant berry was he would call it. I don't know why. But which by the way, I think he watched the last podcast of us. So what's up, Connor? But
Really? You think so? It
I
got
told
some
him about
views.
it. So he's like, "Oh,
I was
yeah."
happy
He was like,
about
"Oh
it.
shit."
It got some views.
Um,
What's
but
up,
yeah, I
Connor?
remember the Slurpee. What that's because
Yeah.
we lived near that 7-Eleven. So,
Yeah, it's funny, like 7-Eleven right now here is like walking distance. And
oh shit.
there have been times I mean fucking why not? Right? It's so hot out. But there have been times I'm like, I think I might indulge on one. It's been fucking years. Why not?
Yeah, yeah.
But I just never. It's honestly, I mean, I haven't checked the machines here, but I feel like as of late, whenever I would spot a slurping machine, the shit's like busted. It's like
Yeah, it's
not
like
produced.
McDonald's. Sorry, our shake machine's down. Like,
Yeah,
what?
it's just like juice and slush. It's not even
Ugh,
getting that texture. Yeah, I'm like, all
gross.
right, but I haven't checked this one yet. I might. You got me thinking now. We'll
Mhm.
see.
Do it. Do it for old time's sake, man.
Fucking hell yeah.
Because you got
Uh,
Connor high. You got Connor high one day, and he came to my, or well, it was you were smoking with Mike too, Luna, and they came to my apartment. Well, actually, no, this is when I moved in with Mike then, when we lived in the 1500 building, and like he had came over and Connor was just like, "We're gonna go get Slurpees. Do you want to come with?" And I was like, "What?" And he said it so fast that I didn't understand what he was saying. And then he like did this like X thing, and he's like, "We're getting mutant berry Slurpees," and I was like, "Dude, how high did
oh,
G get you guys?"
Mary. I
Yeah,
remember
he would
that.
do this like he would do this thing, and I like was like, "Okay, I'll walk with them," and like we walked to 7-Eleven, and then we were walking around the Comcast building and like Connor was trying to steal a fucking chair from like one of the like outdoor areas. I'm like, dude, you cannot do that. Like, what is wrong, dude? So yeah, there's a lot since you and I talked where I was like, yep, these are memories coming back. Where I'm like, dude, I should be sharing these. Like you getting Connor high, you and Mike getting Connor high, and him being
Oh man.
out of his mind. So, and then he wouldn't go to sleep. He would not sleep for the life of him that entire night. I'd be like, Connor, lay down, like stop.
Oh my
And
gosh,
dude,
he's one of those
he was like
types.
crack. Yo, yeah,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
like,
That's so funny because I only hear of these people, but that is not the case for me. But
you what?
that's not the case for me. Like I can't remember the last time I've gotten like hyperactive from
Yeah.
smoking weed. Like he must have just gotten
Mhm.
a great potent ass sativa or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Because no
Yeah.
indica
I got
hybrid
pa
would make you like that. Like I don't know, man.
like that. Yeah. I
But
haven't smoked. I've smoked very seldom. I'm sure you know that because I've never smoked with you, but I smoked with Mike with Luna once. Maybe it's like a strain thing. I'm not really sure, but I get panic attacks from it like pretty bad.
yeah,
Like uh one case in particular, probably like 10 years ago, I like smoked up with my roommates at the house I shared with from my town here. And I was playing Infamous Second Son, and I was like, bro, I can hear the street lights change. Like I felt like amazing. I was like, I could hear the street lights change. Like like sounds just amplified, and it felt great. And then probably like an hour, maybe 2 hours after, I'm not really sure, but like I was like, I need to crawl in the bed. I felt like my skin was crawling. It was just a weird experience. And then my buddy, one of my best friends, he smokes a lot,
Hmm.
but like we'll go out to the brewery and stuff like that. And he watches like he goes to Fish concerts, so he's that kind of guy. I don't know if you've heard of Fish, like the
Yeah.
jam band.
Oh yeah.
So he's that kind of guy. So if you clip this, this is great. But anyway, so he came to my apartment one day and he was like, "Oh, do you want to smoke?" And it was like a pen. And I was like, "Oh, I've never done that before." Like, okay, but I was like a little skeptical. And he's like, "It's a hybrid." He's like, "What you probably smoked a couple years back was probably sativa, and that's what can sometimes give people panic attacks. You know, like they're feel like they're on caffeine or whatever."
Hmm.
And I was like, yeah, that's kind of how it felt. And so I took a hit of it, a couple hits, and like he freaking puts on a Fish concert on my TV. And I was like, he kept asking me, he'd like tap me on the shoulder, and he's like, how do you feel? How do you feel? How do you
Oh
feel? And
goodness.
I was like, I feel like I'm on a cloud, like a mushroom. Like I just like, and I felt like so relaxed and comfortable, but I couldn't go to sleep. And that was the last time I smoked. Like I could eventually, but it took a long time. But I felt so comfortable that like I don't know. I have never smoked since then.
Interesting.
It never came about. Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't feel that. It's just much more of a uh uh,
sleepy.
well, sleepy can be to a point when you like when you overdo it, but like when you're
Mm,
like in a good spot of it, like it's just yeah, you just feel chill, you feel a weight lifted. I've never felt to the yeah, I never felt anything beyond that, like
hmm
almost near tripping. Like even when I was eating these edibles over the weekend, like I mean, he would suggest 1 to 2. And I think I went as far as eating 3 at one point. And then that one, I was like kind of feeling like, all right, this kind of feels a little bit more
hmm
odd, but I wasn't seeing shit or like it wasn't
Yeah.
anything too wild. But yeah,
Now is it
well,
true? If it like I'm assuming it's partially true just because and this friend of mine, actually I'm not gonna say where he works. I don't want to jeopardize
yeah,
anything, but yeah, I don't want to jeopardize anything. But he had explained to me that like if you eat edibles, your high or whatever it is lasts longer because like it has to process through your liver because
yeah,
like
it's
it's the
almost like
same
tripping.
concept of like yeah, like half-lifing. Like you take a Tylenol, there's a half-life to it, and then you every 2 hours it's like half of that milligram and it keeps going. And I'm like, oh dude, I never knew that. I thought you eat like a gummy bear edible or something and it's like the same increment of time as you would smoking it. So,
No,
you
you have
know,
to die. No, yeah, it has to, I think in
process.
my case, it probably took like 15 to 30 minutes. No, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't even think 30 minutes, but maybe 20 minutes. I would start feeling like,
hmm
oh, all right. It's very subtle, right? At least
Yeah.
for me, it was. And but if I did like get to a point where I was eating a lot, like I would pass out. Like I never ate enough to where I could actually kind of it like nearly trip and enjoy that journey. It's always like, all right, this is like I feel it coming on, and then or I'm just waking up from like a power nap.
Yeah.
During
Yeah.
COVID, there was a guy that made like bakery stuff. So he'd make cheesecakes, cookies, brownies, your standards. But he would make
Yeah.
cheesecakes, he'd make like actual entrees, because that's kind of like a thing I've heard. Like cuisine with cannabis. Uh
Hmm.
but yeah, he would make all of these like types of edibles, like even candies, lollipops. even
Yeah.
your regular weeds and oils. And I would always get the treats. And I had a friend that was delivering for them. Uh, and she was like, yeah, just like take the cake, cut it in fours, and just try like one piece, and like, see how you feel after an hour. And I
Mhm.
don't know, I guess I just was like too eager, and I would end up eating all four pieces within an hour or two, and then I'm just fucking passed out on the couch like
Oh my God.
drooling and shit.
So you're like Cookie Monster in a coma, and then out
Yeah.
like a light. Damn.
Yeah, like
Damn.
through the course of an hour, I would just keep eating another piece, and then because I mean they're fucking good too. It's like that's the thing, right?
It's like it's a snack,
Who
bruh.
takes a bite from like a piece of cake and then doesn't eat any more of it till like an hour later? Like that's wild.
Yeah.
So
No, nobody does that.
it was hard to slow that to like actually let that shit sink in, uh,
Hmm.
but like
Does
yeah,
it I was gonna ask like does it you think it increases creativity as much as they say it does? I mean, I'll be honest, like when I smoked weed, the one I mean, my favorite band is Incubus. Seeing them in August, and but every time I've listened to Incubus, it's always like my go-to when I smoke because like there's something, and I know that Brandon Boyd, the lead singer, is a big probably. I'm sure he's still a big stoner if I'm not mistaken, and I think he did an interview where he talked about doing ayahuasca, or I think I'm pronouncing it right. I
probably.
yeah, and like he himself is an artist and a painter, and he's done a bunch of exhibits, but like I've always wondered like does it unlock a sense of creativity? Because on my end I'm like, all right, this is where I go to, like I want to visually do something or I want to listen to something, but I've never really talked to anybody I know that smokes weed and is like, yeah, I want to fucking draw something right now and see what
Um,
happens, you know.
I just use it for anxiety.
Okay.
I've never felt more creative. I mean, it just there is like the as Cat Williams would call it, like the fuck it. Like there is that for sure. Like there is like
Hmm.
sort of that less worry.
Yeah.
Um, that's as far as I would say it goes for me at least. It's like it doesn't like hit this creative switch on. Like
Hmm.
it's just yeah, there's just less worry of like the outcome or even just the process of doing. You just kind of like
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
go with
that's
it.
interesting.
It's like a flow state thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it does affect other people differently. So for me, it's
Yeah.
always been about the anxiety aspect of it. My hands would be sweating balls. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. It would just be like real sweating ball. My hands would be sweating balls.
Your hands
Uh,
would sweat balls.
but
Your hands would be clammy, like from
yeah,
not
yeah,
from not
yeah.
from not smoking, or when you would smoke. Like,
No, like when I would start getting ready to start drawing, like work on a like an art piece
oh,
or
I see. Yeah,
something,
yeah.
right? Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, they would get real clammy and sweaty where I have to keep drying them with a rag. And
Hmm.
yeah, when I smoke a little bit, like that goes away. That my hands dry up.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I'll wear
I have heard that.
I'll wear the iPad glove even for when I'm drawing on paper, because
Yeah.
just in case I, feel any type of
Get clammy.
pressure, because they call
Sweat
it
balls.
um not I believe they call it hyperhidrosis.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know for sure if I have it, but if that's what it sounds like when I describe it.
I actually, now that you're bringing that up, I actually have so I try to take supplements, especially B12 because my B12 was like low, and my vitamin D. But for a bit there, like I have to take a like I have a MTFHR mutation for B vitamins, so I have to do like a methylate version. So I was taking like this mega dose of B12, and dude, my armpits would sweat and they would stink, and my girlfriend would be like, "Oh, you stink, babe. You stinky." Like So like I'm taking like a new vitamin that also has B12 and my hands are like clammy and like I'm even when I'm talking to you like my one armpit I can feel is like I'm like dude no stop like not now
Oh, that's so
but
funny.
yeah it's like so I came to learn that sometimes if you have too much B12 which you'll pee out you'll get rid of it but if you have too much B12 in your system you can sweat a lot more because your body is trying to get rid of it you know
Mm.
so not to say if you're doing that, but in my case, I was like, all right, so I stopped taking the B12 supplement, and then I wasn't sweating because I'd just be sitting there and my pits would just be like covered, and dude, it fucking reeked. But uh, but yeah, if you're taking any supplements that have like some sort of B12 in it, stop taking it for like a week or two and see what happens. Yeah,
I just take multivitamins, really.
yeah.
I
I
don't
have a
take,
multivitamin I'm on. I'm like, it's like, oh, it has B12 in it, but it's like not as much. So we'll see what happens. But
uh,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Okay, yeah. It's like trial and error with the human body and like figuring out what works for you.
Yeah.
Damn,
So
damn,
some
man.
kind of bringing it back to the DBZ piece. I'm really curious what you're gonna
Yeah,
start off with.
I can't tell you, man.
I
Can't tell you.
know. It's killing me.
Actually, I mean, maybe I will. Maybe I will tell
You
you.
don't have to. But I'm just saying
No.
it is exciting.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell
You
you
don't have
because
to
I
tell
think
me.
because no, because I'll tell you because I said to my girlfriend, I was like, I think I'm gonna need you to take a photo of me doing a pose because I want a reference. Like I want a reference photo of an angle. So I'll tell you the two things that I plan on drawing. One, Piccolo blowing up the fucking moon because that to me was it's the funniest thing that I forgot about. As growing up, it's just those things, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, I forgot that motherfucker blew up the blew up the moon, like no problem. And then so it's just I don't know if I want to draw the moon blowing up or do it from behind him or do his face in the front where he's doing to get rid of the moon, but I know I want to do something. And then I'm gonna do Goku doing Kaioken times four, but I want to get it from an angle that's really kind of like not on the show. So I want to do like more of like a lower angle, like as if I was an ant looking up from like a corner, because
Uh,
I plan on putting that. So I plan on putting that in the lower left corner of the Bristol board. So, because I figured I was like, I know G's gonna draw Vegeta doing Gallic Gun. I was like, I know he's gonna do that. So I
no.
was like, yeah. So, because I think you drew that before, haven't you?
Yeah,
I
I
feel
have
like
pictures, but
yeah.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I want to get a photo, like a reference photo of myself, like doing the Kamehameha pose from an angle that's kind of like on a corner that'll go that way.
Mm.
Um, so those are the two things I'm going to start off with drawing, and then just go from there. But you won't know like what it'll look like or where it's. I mean, you'll know where the one thing's placed, but then you could just work from that, and
Okay.
there's plenty of. I mean, you got Raditz showing up.
No, I was just thinking it
I
right
mean,
now.
Piccolo doing the
Special
beam
beam
cannon,
cannon. Yeah.
yeah, special beam cannon, like that's a pretty significant scene.
The
Uh,
sacrifice.
yeah, 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 and then Gohan fucking popping out of the Saiyan
Oh,
pod when
yeah.
he went berserk.
That was cool.
What else? What else is there?
There's a lot. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, Vegeta and Krillin like crawling with one another to the because he's trying to like kill him with the sword,
I mean,
and
the
then
scene
you
when
got
when they stole the Dragon Balls from him, that I mean, that's way later though. Like
yeah, that's in the
I'm gonna have
Namek
to
saga.
I'm gonna have to watch the like especially the beginning, with Raditz and
Yeah.
everything too, because Yeah, like that one's a little blurry for me right now. I can only really remember more of the second half.
Yeah, or when Vegeta turns Azoru for the first time, like that was pretty
Yeah.
scary because like his eyes turned white and he had like the fangs, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, like
Yeah.
dude. Uh, yeah, there's like and then when he was the Azoru, that was pretty, and which is crazy because like that's when you're like, oh, the Saiyan suit expands with them because
Mm.
like like his he didn't lose his clothes like Gohan
Yeah, it
did.
didn't tear.
So yeah, so you kind of were like, oh, the Saiyan stuff, the Saiyan armor, you realize like expands. What else is there? I mean, I just was watching it to try to get more reference. Yeah, there's like a lot.
There's so
Um,
much.
Piccolo's arm coming off.
Um,
When Chaozu dies from trying to
oh,
kill Nappa, and freaking
yeah.
Tien goes crazy and he does the tri beam where he's
Triangle.
just like he
Yeah.
has one arm and he's just like, yeah. Dude, that I feel like during that whole fight before Goku came back, that to me was the moment that gave me goosebumps because you're like, dude, if they can't beat Nappa, how the hell are they gonna beat the other guy?
Yeah,
If
right.
Tien's like going ape shit like that. So
I definitely want to get
yeah.
a shot of Vegeta with the original colors too, because this color palette was so different. Uh,
From
the
the yellow or
orange
yeah.
and the
Did
green.
didn't they say that was the wrong palette for some reason? I watched something I feel like that
I
said
forget.
that
I
was
don't know actually, but it's still an interesting color palette. Like because I have like a
or
collection of figure arts, and I have one of them. Like I have a Vegeta collection, and one of them is
hmm
in that color palette, so it's pretty dope.
hmm
But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know the
that's where
reasoning
they're eat.
behind that.
Yeah, that's where him and Nappa are eating together. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the photos.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
yeah,
like his hair was like was like brown.
like a
Uh,
reddish brown.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I also went back like when I was watching the Saiyan Saga. With the cast that's been around now for 20 some years. I went back onto YouTube just to see what the other actors sounded like, to see like to bring my memory
During
back as like a kid.
the Funimation days.
Yeah, the Ham Saban or whatever, Ham Saban
Mhm.
Entertainment, and like the Ocean dubs and all that. Dude,
Yeah.
I will say Piccolo's voice actor I prefer over Chris Sabat, who Chris Sabat does Vegeta and Piccolo's voice. Um,
Yeah, I'm not a big
his
fan.
Piccolo.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan
No,
of the current voice actors.
yeah, like some
Oh,
of them are.
they don't hit it for me yet.
Yeah, the Goku one, I feel like the Goku, Gohan, and uh I mean their voice actors kind of nail it. Trunks, I would say the future Trunks one does as well. Um, but for me, I was never a fan of once realized like this is what the original Piccolo that I grew up with. I was like, bro, this is the anime guy. Like I know his voice in other animes. And I was like, dude, it's so perfect. Why did they get rid of him? And then you just have Chris Sabat who does like the British-esque Vegeta,
Yeah.
and then he does Piccolo, and his Piccolo is All Might. It's like, yeah, Goku, you just need to go over there and stop trying to play around with him. Just finish him off. And it's like, I don't know. Whereas the other voice actor sounded like he smoked like a bunch of cigarettes, and he was like, yeah, Goku. Like it was a deep voice, but it was like, dude, it was so good.
Yeah, I know exactly. It's like almost kind of like Batman-ish too, right? Like,
It is. It is.
like,
There was like a growl to it. There was
yeah.
like a growl to it. And I don't know. I
Oh,
The voice actors are voice actors, but
if you watch
get what?
the original audio for um, is it World's Strongest?
Hmm.
When that scientist puts his brain in that giant robot body,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Um, yeah, the voice actor for Piccolo, that was like the original. But then they
Yeah,
did change it with the other guy,
yeah,
Chris Sabat.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I
Chris
like
Sabat.
the original guys better when it comes
Yeah.
to Piccolo and
I,
Goku and Vegeta. But
and that stuff like catapulted them for other anime. Like Chris Sabat voices All Might, and I think he's
yeah,
perfect for all. Like his All Might, his American, like the English dub of All Might. I really like the Japanese version. It's so good,
dude, yeah.
and sometimes it doesn't translate well. And I think Chris Sabat over the last like 20 years of doing it more, I think he's gotten the point. And
Mm,
dude, when All Might fucking destroys One for All.
mm.
Oh, or I'm sorry, All
All
for
for
One.
one.
Oh my God, like dude, that's like okay, he's getting it. Like it, I don't know. It's very fitting
I
for
actually didn't
him
watch it
that role.
dubbed. I haven't. I watched it in Japanese.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
don't know
dude,
what
the
it sounds
Japanese
like
guy
though.
is insane.
Dude, it's yeah. It's I can't like I don't know, man. I really do play favorites with that. Like
Yeah.
I'm always dedicated to the original voice actors. Even
Yeah.
though like, you talk about Dragon Ball Z and Goku's Goku, Gohan, Goten, all women.
It is the same
Same
woman,
the
yeah.
same woman voice acting, but I think because I grew up on it that way too, you know, like
Yeah.
at the beginning of the internet phase, uh,
Yeah.
I just got used to downloading clips from the Japanese release, like the original
Yeah, yeah.
release. So,
Put it on your floppy disk, your three and a
yeah.
half floppy.
Yeah, seriously.
I know, man, dude. I'm unlocking memories now. Got that Linkin Park music video of Dragon Ball Z and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Those were the
Anime
days.
videos. I had a friend that would make his own, and I feel like, yeah, like, not that I made fun of him. I was just like, yo, for real? Like, it's just kind of funny. Just imagining doing that as
Yep.
like a pastime. Like, I can see it now being a fun process, but like, it's just
Yeah.
you're just making a bunch of files to take up space at that point.
Yep.
But they are fun, so I can't even like,
Yeah.
I'm not even really making fun of. It's just funny what you would do with just like to create your own entertainment.
Hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of good anime. And the thing is, like, I know that I watch some anime in Japanese. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's the way to go. But I think especially since My Hero Academia, um, the voice acting in that for the English dub is it's really good. There
Mm.
are some moments where I'm like, it didn't go so well.
When I watched the
Like
movies
Deku.
in theater, they were in English, and
Oh,
they're
they were?
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Um, like
okay.
Deku when he versus Overhaul, which that to me is the moment that like gave me goosebumps on that show, like Dragon Ball Z with Tien,
Mm.
when Deku just annihilates Overhaul. You know what I'm talking about? When he's
Yeah,
up in the air and he just does like the thousand punches at
yeah,
Overhaul. I watched that in Japanese originally, and I was like, oh my God, dude, that was like that's an anime moment.
yeah,
And I went back and I watched it on YouTube, the English, and I was like, bro, the English voice actor for Overhaul is killing it, but the guy who plays Deku is what? This is not no. You know, it's like there are misses with the English of it at
yeah.
times, and I'm like, I don't get it. But there's this voice actor who's in this anime called Solo Leveling, Alex Lee, and his story is crazy because like he kind of like faked his age to get into anime voice acting at like a young age and all this bullshit. Like, dude, he's got a crazy story, and now he's voicing like a character, and he voiced a character in Street Fighter. He's the main voice of Solo Leveling. He's just been booking a lot the last like 5 years, but dude, he's insane. Like he knows how Japan. I mean, I think he's Japanese or he's Filipino and some other mix or Vietnamese, but like I think he gets it and he's like half American, so he's like, no, this is how it should be. You know, like if they're giving that emotion Japanese wise, it should you should be giving that emotion if you're doing an
Yeah,
English dub, you know.
absolutely.
So, but yeah, man.
Yeah, because
So
there's an intensity to like the voice
there
acting.
is.
method with the
Yeah.
Japanese people. Like, uh, there was a video I posted like way back of the original All Might, the Japanese voice for All Might. He was on like some talk show, and I guess they have a
Oh
segment.
yeah, I've seen it. Yep.
Yeah, dude. So watching him do that scene when he
Dude, it
fights
was crazy.
All for One,
Yeah.
uh like that was intense. And yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean you apply that same energy to, doing it in English. Like yeah, I'm sure it will translate well. Like, it helps the show. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just having fun.
Sorry, I might have to cut you off. Our power's flickering here.
Oh.
Where, yeah, I just looked outside, like I'm looking out the window and I didn't realize it was supposed to storm and I see lightning.
Oh. Well,
So
yeah,
my
we could
power is
cut. We
flipping.
can
So
put a ribbon on it. We've been doing this for a
yeah.
couple
I was
hours.
like, uh-oh, because our power goes out in this house.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we need some rain, so just try to look at it that way, you know.
Oh yeah, we do.
But
We do.
yeah. Anything you want to plug while we're wrapping this up? You want to plug anything? Your channel?
No. Channel Vega Suckram art. VEGASUCRAM art at Instagram, at YouTube. YouTube, that'll my first video should be going up this weekend, and then I think since you know what I'm going to be doing with the Dragon Ball thing, I'm probably going to put that up right after. So I won't wait until you get the package. Because that was my plan is like I'll wait till I know you receive it to post a video. But since you kind of have an idea, I'll put it up. But
Okay. Do
um,
whatever, I mean,
but like
whatever you feel like.
yeah, man.
I
So
might
like I
even
said, just
forget. I might forget because I'm high. So.
nah, nah. You'll just be like, oh, this is a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, man. Yeah, just
Yeah.
I know if we don't talk for a bit, good luck with everything coming up your way at the end of the month,
Thank
especially
you.
with your exhibit. That's pretty exciting for you.
Yeah.
But
Thank
yeah,
you.
when it comes to the Dragon Ball thing, be in touch, message me, and we'll figure it out. I like I said, I'm mindful. Take your time with it. I'm not doesn't have to be a time. There's not a timeline or deadline for it. So I
Okay.
just want to have fun with it and make some content with you, like we did back in the day.
Hell yeah. All right then.
So
I guess the last thing I'll say is all the all the love and good wishes for your grandmother. Uh
thank you, buddy.
and yeah, just keep doing your thing with the art, and remember that you remember the shit you work on.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I knew you were
Before
gonna
you
get to
start
that. Yeah.
underestimating yourself. But
Yeah.
nah, man, I had fun doing this. This was like even more
Yeah.
chill uh
Yeah.
than the last time, which that was a good time too. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, you're always welcome to come back. I love hanging out with and catching up with
Yeah.
you and just talking shop, talking, nerd stuff, all that good shit.
Yeah, bud.
Less
All right,
fear
man.
mongering because the last one was like a lot of just like AI shit, like AI. It was such a big
Yeah, we did
thing.
hit on topics like that. Yeah, we did.
No, but well, no, I
Um,
mean, even like with my last guest, like we talked about AI.
oh yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
yeah, this was just like a nice change of pace. Um, but
How about this? I got an idea.
what's
How
up?
about we have a pulse? Let's have a pulse check again. Let's do this again. But let's uh let's talk about heroes. I kind of want
Oh
to
shit. Okay.
yeah, I think that would be nice for us because that's the thing that connected us the most was
Yeah.
that show. I think we should, sure, we're gonna be doing this Dragon Ball collab, but yeah, let's talk about heroes. Let's talk about
Okay.
our favorite seasons, characters. I mean, dude, we could
I'm down.
just focus on that and that'd be a lot of fun, and
Oh
it's just
yeah.
yeah, let's do that. That'd be
All
cool.
right. I'm down. Yeah.
Sweet.
So there you have it, folks. If you've been joining us this whole time, I appreciate you. Uh, once again, All the social media links will be provided below. So if you want to follow us beyond this point, um, yeah, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay driven, my friends. And we will catch you on the next one. Peace out.